All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to today's show, the Crypto Casey Show, starring Mr. Barsano. I am your host, Edward Pereira. My good friend and co-host Attila Hevesy is joining us. We do have Crypto Casey coming in, screeching in sideways with her butt on fire. She just sent a message saying that she can't wait to join us today, and we'll be on in about 15 minutes. So with that, a little bit of housekeeping and setup is that your chat is open to everybody. If there's something that you want to say peer to peer, then all you have to do is change the arrow and send it to. You can just send it to us, hosts and panelists, or you can send it to everybody. The chat remains open now, so that anybody can share their questions to each other, not to us. But hey, I'm new here, first time here. I'm hearing about this crazy trader that makes money in their sleep. How can I know that it's real? If you put that in the chat, people are going to be all over you going, "It's real." We've got a lot of folks that we call lovingly repeat offenders that join us every week because there's always new nuggets that people come away with. And Mr. Barsano does not ever announce in advance to us an enhancement in the system. But it's crazy if there's a week that goes by. Here's a setup, Ed, where you don't announce something new. But here's the great thing: you get to participate in a community. You get to have you get to have your own personal room full of traders that sit in your basement. If you have basements, we're in Florida, no basements, but that works for you 24/7, 365 to improve as much of your financial life as you would like to improve. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you will when you see it. But hang on tight. So if you have chat amongst yourselves, do that in the chat. If you think of a question, put it in the Q&A because we don't monitor the chat as much as we do the Q&A, and we want to make sure that you get your questions answered. You'll have a chance to address Casey if you wish, but just be kind. Rewind, if you remember that when you had a VHS. Just be kind to everybody in the chat. Share your successes, share your questions, and with that, I'm going to share my screen.
Yeah.
We'll talk about something in just a second. So why are you here? What can you expect? Can somebody put their thumb up and let me know that that's showing?
It's coming up. Yes, it's showing.
Okay. What are your expectations for this masterclass? Well, we're literally going to show you something that is completely automated, increases your cash flow. Can anybody raise their hand? I mean, raise your hand if you don't want more cash flow. I better not see any hands. Right. And something you should be extraordinarily focused on. As a matter of fact, this is the first time I'm realizing that safety is misspelled. So
Well,
safety,
yeah, where was it? Oh,
sa-
yeah. Hey,
yeah,
you know
safe,
what? Our brain fixed that. We just read
yep.
right past it.
Safety and security. You know that you're in this space, that there are more scams that you can shake a stick at, particularly when somebody asks you to send your hard-earned money to them on a third-party wallet where you lose control of everything. What you're going to see today, you have 100% control. You have maximum security. It works for you 24/7, 365. And it's not hype. It's not a matter of does it work, will it work? It's been successfully working in both the stock auto trading and the crypto auto trading for going on 26 years. You're going to see something that's so amazing everybody has in their head, including me. When Attila brought the opportunity to me and said, "Hey, we should look at this," and he explained that it worked and all the things I just shared with you, and that it makes money in your sleep. I'm like, "Come on, man, get out of here! Nothing like that could exist." Guess what? It exists, but it only
You know,
exists.
when you
Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, it
No,
only
I was going to
exists.
say, when you say 26 years, I wonder what people think about that because to me, the 26 years like flew by and I was
Yeah,
just doing this development the whole time.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you,
And
the
and
older
it doesn't seem like a real long time, but if you say 26 years, I think people think that's like, oh man, that's like way back there. And I'm like, no, it wasn't. It wasn't that long ago
no,
at
it's a
all, you know.
blink of eye. I'll rephrase it. For over a quarter of a century.
Oh, great, thanks. I really feel old.
So we'll we'll move on. All right. So just look at the red highlights. You're here for informational purposes only. Please don't say that we told you, guaranteed you anything. We didn't. We don't. It's past performance that we will share on this platform is nothing but backflip amazing, but we're not guaranteeing any future performance because we're not fortune tellers. We're also not licensed as financial advisors, personal advisors. If you want some marriage advice, you can ask Mr. Barsano. But other than that, we're here for the opportunity to share with you one of the most powerful, the most powerful income generator that I have ever seen to exist. And it only exists one place. There's no like kind, there's no competitor, there's never been a competitor, which blows me away as well. So, like I said, look at these questions. I'm not going to read them, but does it work? Yeah, it just works. Right? We're gonna show you every corner of the system. We're gonna talk about the value and the transformation going all the way back to the very first slide. The transformation is, what do you get out of this? This serves you as a life trader that requires no time, no expertise for you to increase the cash flow, for you to build a legacy for your children's children. So with that, we'll share, you don't have to worry about any of these because I'll post them in the chat. But we have a private community where you can ask all your questions. You can interact with a lot of people that own the trader. You're going to see that there is a special negotiated discount of $1,000 off the license between Ed Barsano and Crypto Casey. We have a YouTube channel which is where we post all the replays. And then you also have, we'll give you these support emails if you have technical questions or non-technical questions. And we just started announcing this last week. Excuse me. If you are interested in buying the trader, take your time, do your diligence, your due diligence. And if you're interested in a personal one-on-one walkthrough to if you're highly considering purchasing the trader, then you can send us an email and say, hey, I'm really considering purchasing the trader. I would like it if we could have a one-to-one Zoom, and we'll do that. And you'll get, I mean, we're no rock stars, but Attila and I are invested in providing you the highest, best value. And I won't volunteer, but I know the answer is the same for Mr. Barsano, that he will help you, he and his team will help you through as well. And we're here to serve you at the highest level. So with that,
what is do your diligence?
Do your due diligence. Do your research.
Research.
Sorry.
How do you do that? How do you really do that?
Well, with
ideas, what that means.
Well, yeah, with you and your system. As a matter of fact, I'll post I'll post Casey's link right now, and I'll explain exactly what I mean by that. Sorry.
It's right there on the website.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So when anybody clicks on this, that is Crypto Casey's discount link. But when you land on it, it will be the front page of Mr. Barsano's
Bring it up, Edward. Bring it up.
Website. All right. Okay. Well,
people need to see this. If you're new to this Zoom webinar today, this is truly where you could do a lot of your homework, which is due diligence and research. When you buy a business or you're looking at getting into a business, you do your due diligence, which means you do your research, you do your homework, and you get your questions answered. So right on the website, Mr. Barsano made it so you could click on any one of these headings, and there's a ton of detailed information here. There's a whole FAQ section. There's videos. When you go to videos, there's like 17 videos there. Pricing, top traders. We're going to cover that a little bit later. Highest trade count. There's a sample trader you could look at every minute of every day to see how the trader is reacting to the market. It just never stops.
Yep.
And then on top of that, you've got the emails you're going to have it in your chat very soon, the email that you could send an email to request a one-on-one should you have any questions that you just can't find answered right here. So doesn't get better than that.
Yep. Well, it does because Crypto Casey just showed up.
It just got
What's up?
better.
Whoop, whoop.
It just got
How's
better.
everybody?
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody's great. How are you?
I'm great.
So, well, I'll stop
Hey,
sharing here in a
you
second.
know what my pet answer to that? How is everybody? Crypto's up, I'm up.
Yeah. Today is a good day so far.
Yep.
Yep, it is. So just before I turn it over to you, Attila, you can see if you click on the pricing, Crypto Casey's special discount applies,
Yep.
and you can pay for it with the debit card, credit card, crypto, or the brand new within the last month, Affirm. Buy now, pay later. What do I like to do? Spend
Use
other
other
people's
people's
money.
money.
There you go. Yeah, you get an A. So thank you. All right, Attila.
Just this morning, I had to do one thing. I had to turn off the pay with crypto option this morning because they Coinbase broke it.
Really?
You believe that? They changed the API with no warning at all.
Jeez.
So as soon as I get off this show here, I'm gonna have to go and put in and figure out what they changed in the API.
Mm.
It's like, why'd they do that without me even knowing?
Yeah, that's
So you can't pay with crypto right now. You could pay with a credit card or use Affirm to make payments.
Right.
Hey, yeah, did you know that Kathy accidentally left out a little yellow toy school bus?
Yeah, she mentioned that.
Yeah, can you imagine if that was in there? Now that would have really topped everything up there.
So it's a toy school bus that runs in, and how many bags of chips do you have on the shelf? Now,
Yeah,
anybody that's new to us that's crazy talk. You're not going to have a reference until later. We'll explain it when Ed tells his story. But I want to welcome everybody again, and we'll get busy. We're going to go through about a 45-minute overview and discussion about the trader, and then we're going to go into Q&A. Sometimes it runs late. We like to get all the important messaging about the platform and what the offer is within the first hour. And then if you got to go, or you're just hanging on for dear life, don't feel like you have to stay to the end. The Q&A gets very, very interesting. We always have unique questions that come up. Plus, you have the opportunity to maybe ask a question directly of Crypto Casey.
Absolutely.
So I would stay as long as you can, but don't be concerned, because within a couple of days, the replay is on our YouTube channel, and Zoom, sometimes they get it right. We'll actually send you the replay link. But in any way, shape, or form, we are all here to serve you at the highest level. Welcome, Casey.
Thank you, guys.
And always, Mr. Barsano, as I call him, the Einstein of today. The only difference is Ed doesn't deal in theory. Einstein had the theory of relativity and this and that and the other. There is no theory here. This Einstein has actually created something that you won't see anywhere else, that everybody said was impossible to make. So, Mr. Impossible, made possible. Mr. Barsano, welcome, and thanks for joining us this week.
You know, it all started out as a theory, really, all the way back in 2000 when I got hammered in that crash. And I could see that just looking at any chart that it was numbers just going up and down. I said, man, I can manage that. And I could do money management and take profits out of this market forever. But that was the theory. And then when I turned it on and everybody started sharing with me their ideas, and of course I had to go with what the users are saying, it's like, oh, they must know more than I do. So let's see what they know.
Nope.
And that's when I created 10 screens of settings, everything they were asking for. And I said, oh my God, they're all just gambling. I mean, they're getting hammered in the market. I'm like, stop, filter all. I got it. So it took a while. It took years for me to get rid of all that stuff and just say, let's just turn this into a straight up money machine, flat out, and I was 100% right. I mean, but I had to unlearn all the misinformation, and that took years, actually.
Yep. Well, I don't think in this past week, I don't think you have to convince anybody that had layer 3 that went up 200% in a day and took all those profits. So with that, let me take a giant step backwards. Let me turn it over to Attila to provide some background, particularly for the new folks that have joined us, and then we'll properly introduce Mr. Barsano and Crypto Casey. I can tell you, it has been such an honor to have you both on a consistent basis. We're getting just crazy great feedback, and everybody, I think, is getting value out of the information that we're providing. So thank you again.
Awesome.
Attila, take it away.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Edward. Yeah, folks, my job here is just to give a quick story on how I met Mr. Barsano. Already, it's been 14 years. I met Ed Barsano in 2012. Pretty cool situation that happened there, but a prelude to that is a little bit about his background. He came out of the Navy after about 8 years, did some nuclear engineering for the government, and was one of the first 350 programmers, developers hired directly by Bill Gates at Microsoft. And he did extremely, extremely well there for another 8 years plus, and then retired a young man. He wasn't even 40 yet, and then got into the stock market and got clobbered in the 2000 stock market crash. Now, it's very, very fortunate for all of us that he got clobbered, because he made a decision at that point in time that is why we're all here right now. And that is, he says, you know what? This game is obviously rigged for the average person. I'm going to level the playing field. And he did that. He decided to generate and develop and create a fully autonomous robotic stock market trading platform, which I found out about in 2012. A good buddy of mine actually said, Attila, how'd you like to make money in the stock market and not have to do anything? And I was like, I don't think that's possible. What on earth are you speaking of? And he said, well, you got to meet this guy. So I met Ed on a similar type of a platform, like a Zoom webinar, but back then I don't even know what it was called. And he showed me, and after about 15, 20 minutes, I said, time out, I'm sold. I want to buy this. And I downloaded it. It was cumbersome back then, but after about 90 minutes, I put it to work, and it worked amazingly well. Literally traded for you 100% unattended. And you're going to hear those terms today, 100% unattended, set it and forget it. But the trader is much, much more advanced today than it was back then. So anyway, long story short about that part of it is he was with a marketing company for several years, but then he went back to being solo. That is
2 years.
2 years. Yeah, what'd I say?
You said several. And it was not several. Man, I unplugged
Several,
those.
I always thought several was about
I
3.
unplugged those guys the minute that 2-year contract ended. I
Yeah.
said goodbye.
Thank God it was only 2 years, right? So he went back to being solo, and he did well, but in 2018-ish sold out to a hedge fund. And this is when it gets interesting, because 6 years later, 2024, March of 2024, I'm sitting at my desk. And at this point, I'm 4 years full-time blockchain, crypto, decentralized finance, NFTs, AI, all that stuff, self-taught. And my background, by the way, is all financial. I was a financial planner early in my early life. Discovered after 6 years I did not enjoy that. So I got into raising money for various projects, hedge funds, mining projects, all kinds of stuff, but mainly financial related endeavors. And then in September of 2020, I realized, I missed the internet revolution, and I saw the writing on the wall that this is the next revolution, but it's much bigger and much greater and much more disruptive than any revolution before. Because what is it disrupting? It's disrupting the entire global financial system. And that's the digital money revolution right behind me, right over my shoulder here. So I got to work, built a portfolio, but I'm a cash flow guy. I love cash flow. My parents always said cash is king. I believe that's out the window. It's been replaced with cash flow is king. So I'm sitting at my desk almost 25 months ago thinking, how the heck can I safely and securely continue to cash flow my crypto? In other words, have my crypto multiply itself. I had been in several projects before that went south and I lost money. So safety and security was of utmost importance. And then it took me a day, but Ed Barsano's name popped in my head, and I said, my gosh, I'll bet Ed Barsano somewhere in the last 3, 4, 5 years developed a trader for the crypto market. So I whipped out my handy cell phone. I called him, and we spoke for 3
phone number
hours.
still was working after all those years, the same
That
number.
same number. You still had, it was great. Thank God I had that number in there, because we had a great conversation, and he confirmed my hunch. He said, yeah, I rolled this out in April of 2021. And he said, as soon as I rolled it out, I said, I'm done with stocks. And I realized he said, this is light years ahead of this stock trader. And I asked him why he thought that it was that far advanced from the stock trader. And he gave me four pretty darn compelling reasons. Number one, he said stock market trades 5 days a week, 6 hours a day. Crypto markets 24/7, 365. Just that in and of itself is a big advantage. And I agreed. Number two, he said, Attila, you know that you need a lot of volatility to make money in any kind of trading. And maybe other than futures trading, there's nothing more volatile than the cryptocurrency asset class. And so he said this thing just, I mean, how do you say it, Ed? The stock markets kind of go up slowly in waves, and the crypto market go up violently.
Crypto markets jump around, man. That's gold
Yeah,
to an auto trader. You
that's
know,
right.
when you mention these things, that the four things that I mentioned, I didn't know those until I automated the market, until I automated cryptos. People were asking me to automate the crypto market in 2017, and I was just so entrenched with the stock market that I wasn't even looking up.
Right.
But as soon as I turned that auto trader on in 21, I said, oh my God. I couldn't even believe what I was looking at. I'm like, this is gold to an auto trader, man. And I can't believe and it dovetailed, the auto trader dovetailed perfectly into from stocks to cryptos because they work exactly the same. Only the crypto market, the numbers are flying all over the place. I'm like, and the auto trader's just grabbing all that money. You jump up 50%, the auto trader says, give me all that money now, close those. And then it
Right.
goes back down and you buy it back again. I'm like, this is gold to an auto trader, man.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. And
And I
basically,
already developed the software all those years.
yes, sir. But number three and number four was really what got me, because number three, he said, Attila, it's not downloadable software any longer. I made it web-based, and I didn't know what that meant exactly. So he explained it. He said, look, if you rebuy the license like you did in 2012 for the crypto trader, I could have you connected to your exchange in less than 10 minutes. And I said, let's do it. I mean, that was music to my ears, because it was nothing like that back in 2012. So I bought it on the spot, bought the license for 3 years, and he had me connected to my Coinbase in about 8 minutes flat. And that blew me away, because I had something to compare it against. The last item here, number four, that he told me should be the most important thing for all of you listening right now, and that is the safety and security of your funds. Because Ed said, I created an API to your own Kraken, your own Coinbase account, so you and only you control your money. That's big, because so many people send their funds out to a third-party exchange or a third-party wallet, and if things go south, you can't recover that. You've got to maintain control. So that's one of the most important features. If you're new here today, that in and of itself is worth the price of admission. The safety and security of your money. That should be the most important. So anyway, before I introduce Ed, I just want to make sure you keep a couple things at the forefront of your minds here. When we say set it and forget it throughout this presentation today, we truly mean it. Once you connect live to your exchange, there's no interaction required of you. There's no screen time required of you. Now, if you want to, on your own, go in and check your trader once a day, 5 times a day, 20 times a day to see what it's doing, that's different. That's just looking at it. But you don't need to do anything. That's truly set it and forget it. And there's nothing in the marketplace that does that with a 25-year track record, with access to the creator, with everything done for you, never sells at a loss. I mean, enhancements coming at us every month with something new. Nothing like this in the marketplace. The second thing I'd like everybody to maintain in the forefront of your cortex here is the fact that understand really clearly what this man has brought forth to the world. This has never been done before, without anybody being an accredited investor, without anyone being knowledgeable in any way about trading of any kind, without anybody having any knowledge about crypto. You barely have to know anything about computers. You could now automate a portion of your financial life and make money while you sleep with this autonomous trader called GoBabyTrade. And today, if you're new, you get $1,000 discount off the retail price because we're giving you a link that's attached to Crypto Casey. And because of our Crypto Casey's agreement with Ed Barsano, he agreed to give her audience members, her subscribers, a special discount, $1,000 off the top. That's pretty cool in and of itself. So Ed Barsano, I'm going to turn it over to you, and hopefully you don't have too many X's through what I said,
Too
but
many notes. Yeah. Well, hey, thank you for inviting me. Casey, thank you very much for letting me talk to your audience.
Casey,
Always.
Ed, you're the only reason you keep showing up is because there's a chance that Casey shows up.
That's it. Yeah, I was going to
Possibly.
take today off, but I heard she was coming. The first thing I wanted to say was free money. That's an interesting thing, When you're talking about the stock market or the crypto market or any kind of investing, it's almost taboo to say free money. I mean, I put a post out on Facebook the other day, and Facebook gave me a message that said, "Oh, we can't allow you to share that because you mentioned free money."
Really?
Why? Because they're not used to that. They can't. I'm
yeah,
sorry the little man on the other end couldn't comprehend free money
right.
because he's not used to it, because he was probably so used to getting ripped off that he couldn't comprehend that a system could actually produce free money. And I don't know what else to call it, because all it is numbers going up and down. Buy, sell. If that's not free money, I don't know what it is. At 3 in the morning, you're handing me free money. To me, that's free money. But you can't really say it out there because they right away say that's got to be a scam. If anybody says it's free money, they're lying. Somebody the other day said, well, my father told me that, if it sounds too good to be true, then it's probably not true, and I'm like, nothing against your father, but I understand where he's coming from. In this world, he might be right 99% of the time, but I'm that 1% of the time. This is it. There is no, like Attila said, there's no system like this, and the reason is because I was learning along the way. Like I said, in 2000, when I got hammered, the only reason I got hammered in the 2000 market crash, by the way, isn't because I was gambling. I was just all in because all the stocks were going up in the 90s, all the tech stocks, and I was in all of them, and then the market crashed in 2000 and 60% of my wealth vaporized. And then I realized that whole crash was baloney. It shouldn't have happened. It was just a scam, and everybody was getting stop losses and margin calls and all that stuff was kicking in, and we all got hammered. And then what did they do with the coins or the stocks? Where are they at now? They rocketed those things to the moon after that, after they robbed all of our shares. So I said, I'm going to put an end to that. And then I learned along the way because everybody was sharing with me. And if you think about it, what is important to know? When you think about things you learn in life, most of the stuff, a lot of times you learn what to do and how to do something, but you really learn a lot when somebody says what not to do.
True.
You know what I mean? What not to do. Learn to do, don't go on that highway going the wrong way. You notice when they put up that sign, do not enter. I think they should make those signs a lot bigger, by the way. I mean, why couldn't they just plaster a real big sign on the exit there, when you're getting ready to go the wrong way on the highway? Why couldn't they just plaster a big sign? I'm not talking billions of dollars. Come on. Put up a big sign there. It's a big red thing right there. Don't hide it in a little sign off on the side. Put it right in your face. Then maybe you won't go down the highway the wrong way. Because every time I see those kind of things, it drives me nuts. It's like, I don't know. The world drives me crazy. But you learn what I learned big time what not to do just watching my clients and talking to my clients all through the years. And we learned what not to do. We learned, what not to do in the market. And when you filter out all the wrong stuff, you're really not left with anything except what we're doing. And that is just take the free money. because the one thing that is guaranteed, and I know, Edward, you said there are no guarantees. I don't see what that means, because unless these coins go out of business, this is guaranteed money. You are going to pump money forever. Like
And
I told.
also, oh, go ahead.
Yes. No,
Oh,
you go
well,
ahead. I'm
kind of
going to
like,
talk forever.
I like the prop house thing because we don't have access to certain data that the market manipulators do. And so it's absolute for them. It is and his thing captures what they're doing. Yeah, tell me about the prop house, and it'll make more sense.
All right, yeah. Well, in the beginning, I didn't have data, high-speed internet at my house back in 2001. So I went to what they call prop houses, professional day trading houses, where they got like 30 or 50 people, some of them just in a big bullpen, sitting in front of their monitors trading the market. And 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 I remember when I first went, I went in there to get their data, their high-speed internet, so I could do the development, using the data, and I couldn't do that from home with a dial-up modem. So I bought some Microsoft, for an example, and while I was sitting in there stealing their data, I was trading, you know. So I bought some Microsoft, and then I just said real out loud the way I always talk. I said, "Hey, how do I know when to sell this Microsoft I just bought?" And then somebody came up on my right shoulder and he said, "That's easy. You see that guy's order right there? Sell it right under him." I couldn't believe it. That's your limit orders, folks. You're putting those out there, and these professional day traders, they are not even looking at indicators. They're looking at nothing. They're looking
That's
at
their
your
free
order.
money. That's their free money.
That is free money. They said just
Yeah.
sell it right under that guy because he's the best ask price. He's saying I'm willing to sell my shares at this price. Just go right under him and sell your shares, sell your Microsoft right under him.
Wow.
And, and they're all doing it. Everybody in there. And sometimes they're laughing because you're not changing your limit order because you put it out there and it's just sitting there and they're buying and selling under your limit order, under your sell order. And you're wondering why does the price, and you've all seen it. It looks like the price is heading toward your take, where you're going to sell at a profit, but then it never quite gets there, and then it's staying. It tries to go and it pulls back, and it tries to go and then it goes out, and then it starts going down. It's because they dried up all the buyers and they sold all their shares below you, and they were just having a field day, making fools of all the public, and
Yeah,
that's how we're all taught.
I've asked both of you this before, but I'll ask it again for the newbies. Casey, what percentage of the market, both in the whatever market, let's just talk about crypto for now. What percentage of the market do you believe is automated by AI and manipulated?
I can definitely attest to manipulation, which is pretty much 100%. I'll give it 99.9%.
Yeah, you can't say
Ed can
100,
speak to
right?
the Ed can speak to automation because he's the more master of that. And I've asked him this question several times, so I'll give it to him.
So is
yeah.
is it fair to say
It's all skewed against the public,
yeah,
period.
a big plug for the auto trader is that if in fact you're trying to play a game that's stacked against you, that puts you in a position of guessing and gambling, then you're going to lose money. The benefit of the trader is it puts you in the manipulator's position. You're not manipulating, but you're able to mimic and mirror and follow along. Not you follow along. All you're doing is watching your trader function, and it is putting you in a position where you're now playing with the big boys and girls, but without risk, without you being manipulated. But everybody else around you, if anybody that doesn't own a trader and you're in the crypto market, if you bought and are holding crypto in the last 5 years, you got to be hating crypto. However, the auto trader over that same period of time in a 90% down plus market has 5x your money. If you and what did you do? Nothing other than buy the trader, connect the dots, and then go live. By the way, buy a whole lot more of your time back and go live life and generate free money. This is a life opportunity. This isn't a get rich quick scheme by
Hey,
no
it could
means.
be a get rich quick scheme. Wait until this market takes off. We've been in a
Well, but
5-year downtrend. Watch when that trend turns up.
yeah,
That's going to change it all.
agreed.
And we got all that inventory we bought on the way down that we didn't sell while it was wiggling. We were taking profits, but the prices were going lower and lower. So we were still building inventory, which is gold because now we got the market trapped at the bottom.
Right.
They can't wiggle without giving us money. And every time they try to go higher, we sweep all this free money off the table.
Yep. Yeah. To put a finer point on it, it doesn't matter what direction the market goes if you own this trader, because it punishes the market when it drops, and it punishes the market. It takes every penny uh, out of in profit out of the market because of the enhancements that you see when we get to the point where Ed shows and talks about the AI. But yeah, to not to belabor the subject, but if you're playing a game against people that have automation and manipulation on their side, you're going to lose unless you have a tool that matches and beats them, which is this.
Even if it
Well, that
wasn't,
was, oh,
even if it wasn't a get rich quick, what's wrong with getting rich slow and steady? You
yeah,
know,
you're
I mean,
gonna. Either way, we win.
it's a lifetime trader. So I mean,
Well, I mean, if you're walking down the street and you're finding money on the ground every day of your life, you're going to be walking around looking down, and
that's
you're going to
right.
be happy that you're finding money. I found $1 a few months ago. I still have it in my wallet, and it's all mangled up. This dollar that's been run over 100 times. It looked like it was driven over, and I'm excited about that dollar, even though my auto trader takes, thousands of dollars every month, out of the market for free.
Hey, Ed,
But so the first lesson I learned back on that subject of the prop houses was hide your orders. Do not float limit orders in public view. So that was the first thing I built into my trader before I even released it to the public. The first thing I did is I said so I built it in to track everything you're doing, track the prices, but don't float anything. Don't float that order in public view. Know where the software knows where it's going to sell. It just doesn't let the world know where it's going to sell until it's time to do that sell. What were you
brilliant.
going to say, Attila?
I was just going to say, if you could, for the sake of the new people, if you could bring up the bucket and the well, because that's the
All
best
right, yeah.
visual. That's the best visual there is.
I like that. And that's the thing about us that might separate us when you're doing your due diligence, like you were talking about. See, this is
Mhm.
what I was thinking about due diligence was not just going to my website and seeing everything, because that's just all of us, right? And thousands of users too. But if you go, when you listen to me talk and us talk, we talk about the trader and what it's doing and how it works and why it works. And we talk about the philosophy of it and understanding, and we compare it to what's out there versus how the world is trading versus how we're trading and what makes us great, what makes the software work. Intimately detailed. My wife even says you're giving way too much information out. If there's other developers out there, you're just shaving years off their effort because they didn't take 25 years to figure this out, but I did. And I'm just sharing information that where they can say, "Wow, I could just do that." Good. If I didn't tell them that, maybe they would have taken 25 years to figure it out. But the thing is, what they don't know is the amount of code it's going to take. It's a lot of code, baby. Millions of lines of code. You're not going to slap out no auto trader in a week. This isn't something some kid's going to do in his bedroom and just, oh, look, I created an auto trader. No, good luck with that. So I really don't mind sharing it. But listen to if you're looking at other bots and you want to try to do a comparison, ask them, well, how does things work? They probably won't even talk to you. You're not going to talk to the creator. I doubt that. But
No.
if is he really going to explain to you in details, in finite details, what makes their trader make money? How exactly does it work? Exactly how does it work? And good luck if you're ever going to get that, because they don't know what they're doing and they're all lying. Their AI is fake. They made it up. And their AI can't know. We can talk about AI in a little while, the details of what makes AI work. And they're lying when they even say they have AI. And I've been doing AI since '89, so I know these bots that are popping up saying, "Oh, look at me, I have an AI trader." No, you don't. You're a liar. because they don't even understand what AI is or how AI works. So they can say they have an AI trader, but they sure can't explain the AI that's in their trader. All right, yeah. I think it's important to understand why the auto trader works, and this bucket in a well, like Attila said, really explains it, shows it to you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and let me piggyback off of something that you said when people are going and looking at other traders, if you will. First of all, they're not auto traders. They are some form of AI that's giving you an indication where you then have to take action to actually do whatever it is it thinks you should be doing. Versus this system auto trades for you. It connects to your Coinbase or Kraken account. It's programmed to never sell at a loss, and it trades automatically, 100% without you touching it. It does all of the analysis and calculations internally, and it takes action while you're living your life or sleeping. There is no other trader out there that does it for you. So yes, if you want to watch screens for 8 to 12 hours a day, if you want to watch indicators, the 27 indicators that have a direct that give you some direction in the market and try and figure it out. To me, as compared to the 3+ million lines of code that are in this auto trader, if you think you can outthink it,
Don't try.
probably not.
You can't outthink it, and there's a reason why. It's the way you're thinking is different than the way the auto trader is thinking. You see, you're thinking, if you're sitting in front of charts, some people have 6 monitors, and they're looking at these technical indicators, and they're trying to figure out, is the market going up or is it going down? What should I do? Should I jump in right now? You're thinking, and they are thinking, they want things to be going in the right direction, and then they want to jump in and have your coin go straight up. The auto trader doesn't think like that. The auto trader says, I don't care really when you jump in. I'm going to sell it at a higher price. I know that. So it doesn't, you actually want the market to be going down. And see, this is a change in the way your brain thinks, because this is where your DNA isn't used to the way this trader trades, because the auto trader is saying, I want things to go the wrong way, and I want to build all this crazy inventory that I'm gonna have the market trapped forever, so they can never even wiggle a little, no matter where the price is, and they got to just keep pumping me money forever. And that's why it's the example of the 7-Eleven that I use.
With the school bus.
With the school bus. Yeah, with this, you fill up your shelves and then you sell the inventory off at a higher price. That's commerce. That's how commerce has been for thousands of years. I'm sure the cavemen had commerce. I mean, where did they get those clubs? They didn't make them themselves, did they? They probably bought them from somebody that went and found a club and created a club store. Here's the first shop ever created, the club store and the wheel store. I just made that up.
I think they traded back then.
And they whatever they did is, they got something and they sold it at a higher price. Maybe they were resellers of clubs and they bought them from somebody else that had a lot of them, and they bought them at one price and then they sold them at a higher price. That's how commerce works. If commerce doesn't work, then no stores work. No business works. Nothing works. The whole economy, the whole world of merchants and of all the stores and all the restaurants and everything they're doing, they're figuring out, what is my cost basis? I've got this many employees and I have this overhead, the rent and the insurance and all the stuff that they have, like in a 7-Eleven is a good example of all their expenses. And then they got to figure out, what do I sell this item for now that's going to, at a higher price of all that, so that I can pay all those bills plus come out ahead. That's what commerce is. And what I say is, that's what the auto trader does exactly, only you don't have any of that overhead. This is just, again, free money.
Business in a box.
This is just give me money for free without any overhead. This is the greatest business. You can look at this as a business. I'm selling you a business in a box for virtually pennies. And you literally forget about buying a 7-Eleven or buying a Jack in a Box. How many? $2? You know, they have Jack in a Box tacos, two tacos for $1.80. It used to be two tacos for $1. You know, 50 years ago. Some of you young people wouldn't remember that. But it's gotten to like $2. I like it when I go to Jack in a Box in a drive-thru and I say, I'll take the $2 for the $1.80. And they say, you want fries with that? No, thanks. You want a drink with that? No, thanks. You're only going to get $1.80 from me. And they got all that overhead, man. I mean, I would hate to be in that business. I would hate to be in any business like that. You know, when you have an auto trader that is the business. This is what all the businesses are. They're the same, only I don't have any of the aggravation. So here's how it works. And I'm going to show you. This is exactly how your auto trader works, folks, really. If you understand this, then you're going to sign up before I even get off this phone. Because if you understand water first, let's understand the well, the bucket in a well. The bucket goes from the top to the bottom and gets the water and then goes all the way back up. That's how it works. It has to go all the way down, get the water, and then go all the way back up and dump it out. Okay? It can't go halfway down and then go back up. It'll be an empty bucket when it gets there. It's got to go to the bottom and it's got to go to the top. I mean, that's huge. With the bucket, with cryptos, or the stock market for that matter, it only has to wiggle. Just go down a little and buy a little and go up a little and sell it. It's a joke. Buy, sell, free money. Buy, sell, free money. No matter where it goes, just keep pumping me free money. And I've been saying this for 20 years. You know, I used to present to audiences all over the country. I've presented in every major city across this world, across this whole country, and to live audiences before Zoom and all. And I would tell people, do you think Bank of America is ever going to go out of business? And people said no. I'm saying, then trade the heck out of it. And I didn't say heck. You know what I did say? Trade the heck out of it. You know, because it's like, it's just free money. They're just going to keep pumping you free money forever. And it was at $10 a share. I'm like, trade it forever, man. As long as they don't go out of business, it's just going to keep giving you free money. Just keep taking the free money and go live your life. When you first get your auto trader, and you're like, just the way you trade the market, it's like you got to stay glued to the screen, you feel like it. But you're gonna see your freedom slowly grow once you have an auto trader. You're gonna go to the store, but then in the beginning you're gonna think, I don't want to be too far away from my computer, right? Isn't it, away from the market? But with an auto trader, with GoBabyTrade, you can go to Europe. It doesn't matter. Go to the outbacks of Australia, whatever. Go disappear for 6 months. It doesn't even matter. Your auto trader is going to keep running on our servers. And it's just going to keep pumping money. So in the beginning, you might take short visits to a store or whatever. Later on, you're going to be going to Disney World. You're just going to, and really, you're going to, I mean, Casey, how often do you even look at your trader? Do you look at your trader very often?
No, but I've been on the calls for the past 7 weeks, and every time you have like a new little cool feature that I didn't even know that was there, making it better. So that's fun. That's like the most fun actually, is to look at the new features, because otherwise it is very consistent at what it does.
Yeah, it's kind of boring, really.
It gets boring after like a year or two.
What do I always say, Ed? You've made making money boring.
I know. It is. It's just going to keep pumping money. Like I said, I found that dollar on the ground and I was just so happy. I actually folded, it was already folded and all smashed up. And when I tried to unfold it, like it sounded like it was going to break, because it was just like so smashed. So I just put it in my wallet like a good luck dollar. I don't know why. It's still there.
I'm surprised you haven't put it in your trader yet.
Yeah, I showed it to Jackie Jagiello when I saw her at the M the other day. The dollar I had in my wallet. But
That's funny.
it's exciting, when you find money on the ground because you actually physically see that, whereas the auto trader's just pumping out all this free money, you don't even think about it. But that's what it's going to do. And unless that coin goes out of business, you're just going to keep taking money for the rest of your life. It almost feels criminal to me because I'm watching it take all this free money and I realize there's nothing anybody can do to stop us. That's the beauty. I mean, there's no law against buying something at one price and selling it at a higher price. You're not violating any laws, but when you do it with proper money management, the software divides up your money in a way where you don't care where the price goes. This negative inventory up here, like if the price goes lower and you hold that one lot, and like right now, you're going to keep pumping as long as it stays in that range. But then if it goes lower, you're still holding that one, and now the action is down here. And a lot of times somebody say, well, I don't think it's ever going to go back to that number or to that price. It's like, well, number one, you don't know it. And number two, you don't even really care because I'm going to pump out 1,000% returns down here. I'm going to, profit-wise, I'm all the way up here. I'm way off this well. The profits are up here already. None of this matters, But if it goes there, or what if you get the coin jumps 200%? Like that. Boom, it goes up like that. Everything you own below that price is going to sell. So you're always just pumping free money. I call the market an insult to humanity. Everybody's heard me say that a lot. My favorite thing is when that one guy said, you're irreverent. I said, what do you mean? And he says, you don't respect the market. And I'm like, the market doesn't respect me. The market's treating me like I'm 5 years old, man.
There was that one guy at the AI conference. He's like, that's not real. Or something.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. It wasn't even an AI conference. I was teaching an AI class to a whole room full of developers. They asked me if I would teach a class and they were willing to all pay me even. And I said, no, I don't want any money for it. I'll teach you the class anyways, shows you how boring my life is. So I actually didn't ask for it. I didn't get paid a dime. I flew all the way to Raleigh, North Carolina. and I taught, and then there was 80 developers in there. And I was teaching an AI development class, how to do pattern recognition, So, but there was a whiteboard there, and, I'm a magnet to a whiteboard. So I walked over to the whiteboard, and, right in the middle of that, while I'm teaching these guys how to program AI, I go over to the whiteboard, and that's when I created this bucket and a well, a picture of this. And I said, if the bucket goes all the way down to the bottom and gets the water and then goes all the way back up and it repeats that for the rest of your life, how much water can it pump in a lifetime? And they started throwing out numbers, 1 million gallons, 1 billion gallons, 1 trillion gallons. And I'm looking around the room, there's 80 people in here, highly intelligent people. There was a couple women in there. I was going to say highly intelligent guys, but there was highly intelligent women in there too. And I looked around. Nobody was objecting to the numbers they're throwing out. So you're telling me if it just keeps pumping water forever, it's just going to pump out billions of gallons of water. And you guys are all okay with that answer. Okay. I said, well, how about if it's the crypto market and it doesn't have to go all the way down and it doesn't have to go all the way up? All it's got to do is wiggle like this. I said, how much money can that pump in a lifetime? And then the whole room went silent. And it was just it was vintage. I loved it. And the room gets silent. I see them. I'm looking at their eyes, and they're all staring at the whiteboard, and they're trying to, and you can see their wheels are turning in their head. And then finally one guy spoke up, and he goes, there's no way that could be real. I died laughing. You guys are so brain damaged, man. You don't even see the obvious. And that's what's going on in our society. Everybody is so brainwashed that that they actually think that other people know more than they do. I guarantee you there isn't a person in the world that knows what a coin's going to do tomorrow. If he knew that price, if I knew what a coin was going to do tomorrow morning, I would be the richest person on this planet. The fact is that doesn't exist. If I had that indicator, I'd be so rich, it's unbelievable. But the thing is, I don't even need it anyways. because I'm going to keep pumping money out of the market for the rest of my life anyways, and there's nothing anybody can do to stop it. And, so, but everybody wants to think, and now this is a problem I don't have. I don't have a lack of confidence. I never did since I was little. But I think a lot of people think other people are smarter than they are. And I wonder what that must
Well, what's
feel like.
interesting is it's by design we don't learn anything about finance or money, taxes. And at the end of the day, the government is creating money out of thin air, nothing. Wall Street is doing exactly this, extracting money from manipulated price volatility. Most of the people that are, well, I don't want to say people, but you know what I'm saying, like government, Wall Street, institutional stuff, they aren't doing anything to make money. They are stealing money.
That's all they're doing.
Extracting money.
Extracting sounds
Taxing you. What are they doing?
nothing.
They're not doing anything. Well, we have to do a lot of stuff for them.
Oh, they want you working. They want you to work till you die. And that's it, and pay your taxes and just keep giving them money, and then the investment advisors want to, they want to pretend like they know stuff so that you're going to hand your money to them thinking they know stuff. And that's the thing. That's a painful thing for me to think about. You're handing your money to somebody else thinking he somehow knows something. And then what happens to your money? The market crashes. Your investment goes all the way down, and then the broker calls you again and says, well, that one didn't work. We got this market crash, so why don't we close out of that one and put your money into this other thing? And he's getting commissions on all this stuff that he's doing. You're taking all the risk.
It's all prepackaged too. They're not looking at the market and making anything personalized. They have prepackaged stuff and they're selling you and they're getting commission, and they don't do anything.
And they don't care. They don't care which way it goes. They hope it goes up. That way they can call you back and say, hey, wasn't I smart? Didn't I tell you that was going to do that? Yes, I did it for you. Now let's get you into this other stock or this other coin where he gets more commissions on. And then he hopes it goes up. If it goes down, well, the market crashed, nothing we could do there. But we'll go ahead and take the remainder of your money and move it over into this other thing. And now he's getting more commissions. You're taking all the risk. He's getting all the reward. And you don't need him to do this. And Warren Buffett, God bless his soul, and I mean, he's still alive and all that, but he's pretty old. Luckily he was around in the 40s when he could buy Gillette for 2 cents a share, and he got rich. Good for him. But that strategy won't work for us. I can't just buy something and sit on it forever and hope that it goes up, and especially that whole notion of hold it, and like they talk about the S&P 500 over X number of years, on average it goes up this much. However, they're not telling you about all the crashes where you had to watch your whole account go all the way down and then go back up. In the meantime, you're not making any money because you're not selling. It's like the silver market, right? Silver jumped now after all these years, and I've had traders, doing, just rolling their money over and over when silver was going between $11 and $22 a share, up and down, pumping money on just the symbol SLV, silver, in the stock market, trading it on 2% moves up and down. Free money, getting 100% returns out of it, doubling your money over and over all these years. And then all of a sudden this year, what happened? Silver just happened to run to over 100. And then it came all the way back down to 60. But if you're sitting at home with silver dollars in your drawer, you didn't make a dime. It went all the way up there, and then it came all the way down. You still got your silver in the drawer still sitting there. You didn't capitalize on that move. But if you got an auto trader and just traded SLV and let the auto trader do this with it, with the silver, trading it, you would have already had, you'd be rolling your money over like crazy. You would have bought it all the way, you would have bought and sold it all the way to 100, and then bought and sold it all the way back down to 60. I mean, you've already made a few 100% return on your money. In the meantime, you're still sitting there with silver dollars in your drawer. I don't believe in anything that isn't turning inventory. You don't open up a 7-Eleven and fill the shelves and then lock the doors and wait for everything to appreciate in value. No way. The name of the game is turning inventory. That's what it's about. That's the petrodollar. That's why we want everybody in the world to buy oil from Saudi Arabia and pay with the US dollar. We want to turn those dollars. We don't want them to be able to pay in other currency. Thank Nixon for that. Okay, so it's all about turning inventory, and that's what that's what you got to do. So not only does it just work, but we tell you why it works. I wrote that down, and I told you I learned as I went along. As I was learning all those years, I was learning what works and what doesn't work. Let's get rid of this stuff. I went from my original auto trader had 10 screens. Attila, remember the old trader had 10 screens
Oh,
of
yeah,
settings.
of
And what
course.
were they doing with those 10 screens?
Blowing themselves up.
That's what I used to say. You heard me say it enough. I figure you might have been listening at once in all these years. Yeah, they had 10 screens of ways to blow yourself up, man. They were just gambling. And I'm like, stop it. Because you're buying it thinking it's going to go straight up. And the auto trader says, I don't care where it goes. Actually, if you look at this, understand what you're looking at right here for a minute. I don't know if you picked up on it. This says I started buying it up here, and then it went down. It's all about I started buying it here, and it went down. I'm not even talking about when it went up. If you bought it up here and it went up, anybody can make money if it goes up. You just sell it at a profit. I don't need a strategy for that. If I'm a buy and holder and it goes up, then I made money. The problem is if you're a buy and holder and you put all your money in up here, you're missing thousands of trades while it's down here. And there's always going to be a down market. That's another misnomer, a misunderstanding that people have. Because I get the questions. People say, well, what if it just keeps going straight up? There's no such thing as straight up. Because even if it does jump up, it's still going to pull down. And you're going to always have a down market. You're always
And that's
going
what
to have
people
down.
don't understand about Wall Street and big institutions. They think they're like making smart strategic buys and waiting for it to go up and sell. That's not what they're doing. They're doing this. They're
doing
doing
exactly
this.
this.
But they have the
Exactly
power
this.
they have the power to manipulate the market. So they have that advantage because they can decide when to, crash it or pump it up, manipulate.
Well, they did it a few weeks ago, right? When they pushed every coin down 7%. I don't know if some of you remember that. I had a vertical screen, a list of all the coins and today's move. Just like in my auto trader, you can see today's move here. And it shows whether they're up or down, how much they're up or down. Every coin was down 7%. It was crazy. And then, and I had all the coins that you could trade in GoBabyTrade. So in Coinbase and Kraken. So I had a vertical list of all the coins, and all I saw is minus 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 8, 8, 8, 8, 7, 7, 7. So the first thing that I said to myself is institutional behavior. There's no way that entire market dropped like that. Just like right now, this is institutional behavior here. Every coin's down 2.83, 1.54, 3.61. Every coin is down like that. Well, on that day, every coin was down 7%. And then there was a few minus 8%. So the first thing I told myself is institutional behavior. But then I stopped to think, wait a minute, why 7? What's magical about minus 7%? Well, then I remember, what do they teach in all the trading classes? Cut your losers early and let your winners run. So how do you cut your losers?
All the stop losses are set.
Boom, boom.
Oh,
and then I said, why 7? Because you're taught to sell your coins at a loss at 3 and 5. So they said, we're going to get everybody that put any stop loss all the way down to a 7% drop, and we're going to make all those stop losses kick in at once. And that's exactly what they did. So millions of people's stop losses kicked in on that day. And who do you think was buying all those shares that were being sold? Automatically sold. Can you imagine? You were being robbed in your sleep. Man,
show them the L2 screens so they can see like just how
that's
fast.
another one, more corruption. And this is the level 2 screen that we were talking about in those prop houses. You can sit here and you see that. This is the level 2 screen. These are actual orders people are floating in limit orders at the exchange. All right, if they put an order in ahead of time. So you got this green bar down here, or yellow, whatever it is. It's cross between green and yellow. I'm colorblind. So the first number above it is your best ask price, the lowest ask price that somebody's willing to sell at. You see here, you can see the price 3932, and then there's 9321, 9322, 93221. Well, they go all the way up, and then you got 9334s all the way up there. The numbers keep getting bigger there, and they keep getting lower here on this. And if you're selling, this is what you're getting. Somebody says, I'm willing to sell, but I want at least this much money. Somebody else below it says, I'm willing to sell at a lower price. No, wait, this is, well, if you're buying, you're actually, if you're selling, this is what you're getting. This is saying, I want at least this much. 9313. And then the one below it is 9312 and 9311. So if you're selling, you're going to get less and less the lower the price goes. So what happens is a lot of fake orders will pop up in here. So first off, if you put a limit order out there, everybody can see your order. Some people just trade looking at this one screen alone. The other thing is, let's find another coin that has a lot of fake numbers in it. Let's just pick another coin. This, you can see the volume here isn't even hardly moving. They're not even moving. Look at this. These prices aren't even changing fast at all. They're just sitting there. I mean, you can hardly see any movement at all. So sometimes people want to change their strategy and all when things aren't happening, as if they could make things happen. I'm like, hey, if the market's not moving, the market's not moving. You're not going to make the market move. But see, like right here, that's 677 shares. Look how much it's worth on the right, $2.27. See this down here? $2.27. That's all that is. You're gonna, or this one up here, you know, if you're buying, what if I want to buy $1,000 worth of this coin? Well, I'm gonna have to buy this guy's shares and plus this one and this one. I'm gonna have to keep adding this all the way up till I get to $1,000 worth, right? Which means I'm not really gonna be paying this price. I'm gonna be paying this price up here, or the average of all this. And so the software interrogates this screen and figures out what are you really going to be paying, or what are you really going to get for a trade? What are you really going to get? Not what the best bid and ask shows. So when you're seeing numbers here, this price here, that's just one number. And this is going really slow. These prices aren't even moving. It's like,
yeah, I was wondering why it's not moving that much. Usually they're pretty fast.
Yeah, usually they're flying all over the place, you know, sometimes. I'm watching the numbers change here. Yeah, they are changing. You see down here, I can see the numbers changing. But they're not changing. They're hardly moving at all. It's like the market's just not even moving. But I see the numbers changing, so they are changing. But you normally, you know, a lot of times, like that 11.9 down here, you see the best bid price?
Yeah, that one's moving more.
Yeah.
The memes are always moving, seems like.
Sometimes people, yeah, now they're starting to flow, starting to move again. But sometimes somebody will say, the price has been above my target price all day. How come it's not trading? And I went and looked at the level 2 screen here, and I'm saying, like, well, all I saw was 11 shares, 11 shares, 11 shares. All the orders going all the way up were 11 shares each, which is a total scam. See, you know, you can throw fake orders out there, and they filled it all up. So if you were trying to actually, you know, if you were trying to buy or sell, the price in order to get filled for the number of shares you're buying or selling is, you may you may end up selling at a much lower. You see those two, look at these 11.9s on the bottom. Those two are fake orders. $1.11, nobody's selling $1 worth of a share of a coin. They do that. In reality, you would jump over those 11s, those dollars, and get down to what you're really going to get for those shares, which is a lot less than you thought you were going to get. Because this is the number you're seeing for the best bid price, but the actual price you're going to get filled at for the number of shares you're trading would be actually a lot lower. So the software keeps track of all that. So sometimes you'll see down here, where an order gets sent, order submitted in your reason for a trade, and then you'll see it order canceled. It's because the prices just weren't really real where they were at, and we weren't going to get filled. And I'm not going to leave a limit order sitting out there waiting for the price to get to where I want it to get to, because then I know it's not going to get there, because then the professional traders are feeding off my limit order that I have floated in public view. So we cancel the order and take it out of there. So let the market go where it wants to go, then we'll put our order out there and close the position when we really know we're going to get filled at the right price. So, what should we talk about? I mean, that's just talking about how corrupt the market is and all, and how the software deals with all that stuff going on. You can't do this stuff manually. It just doesn't work. You'd never be able to do it.
Ed, I would say go to your trader, because you could show folks a lot of stuff on your trader.
Okay, here I am.
Yeah, just go through, I guess, each of the columns, numbers, and what everything means, I guess.
All right, well, this shows it's a live trader. You can look down here and you see I started on February 7th, 2023. I started this trader with 200,000, right? Mm-hmm. Now, then the market just started going straight down.
Yeah.
Completely the wrong way. It's at 530,000. So I've taken 375,000 in profits off the table.
In a 90% down market.
Yeah, in a 94% down market. So, and it hasn't taken any profits today. You see, it's not a sell day. You can pretty much see if the coins are going down. Sometimes the coin will go down on the same, and then on the same day it'll wiggle up. So you'll buy it lower and still sell it at a little higher, but it'll still be down from yesterday, the price of the coin. So you could still be buying and selling, even though the coin's sitting at lower. I used to always get amazed when I'd hear it on TV, like the Dow would drop 1,000 points in one day, and then it would recover 500 points during the day. And I watched the news all day long, and they're saying, the Dow's down 500, Dow's down 500, Dow's down 500. I'm like, no, the Dow is up 500 from the bottom of where it was when it opened.
Right.
So it's actually up. It's down from yesterday, but it's up for today. But they don't want to tell people that it's actually up. They tell people it's down. They love to tell people negative stuff.
Hey, Ed, a light bulb just went off. So let me give a contrast of something. I don't know why I've never thought of this before, but what you just explained about the trader. It's been trading for, was it 3? So just a shade over 3 years, right? You started with $200,000. You made $375,000, almost $376,000, and even though you still have a lot of inventory, take that off the table for a second. The account value is $520,000. Let me give you a contrast that I just figured out. If you had taken the exact same scenario, but spent $200,000 in these positions, right? Bought everything that you bought. Whatever the allocation was in all these positions, you know what your market value would be right now?
You'd have 6% of it left.
$12,000. So not only do you not have $12,000, you have almost $530,000. You've taken active profits, active by the trader. You've done nothing other than make the tool. So I'm not discounting that, but you've made almost $376,000 in profit versus a buy and holder over that same period would have an invested value of $200,000 and a current market value of $12,000. Is that am I
millions of people
missing
are taught
something?
to be buy and holders, and buy and hold is dead. I mean, it's dead. If you bought in, take Alchemy Pay, this top one. I bought in originally at 12 cents a share,
Now it's half a penny.
and now it's a half a penny. Okay, but yet I've taken this 154,000 off the table in profits. They can never take that back from me. I'm down 112,000 in my open inventory. I'm still net positive, which is crazy. And that's the only reason is the last 3 months, this market has taken a sharp drop down. And you can tell what's going on, because the whales, BlackRock, and those big guys, they're sitting on $100 billion worth of crypto, and they've been pushing everybody out. And now that they've got all these coins sitting at the bottom and they own all the inventory now, most all the inventory. I mean, the public's out of it. If you bought up at 12 cents and you're waiting for that coin to go up to 12 cents before you can even break even, you're pretty much dead, man. You're going to be waiting a long time for this coin to go back to 12 cents. Whereas me, I continue to pump money on that. I even bought more here. Right here, it shows this open on 4/7. What is that, yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, I didn't even know it until just now. I don't even look at my trader when I'm not, unless I'm doing a webinar. But at 0.006, and the current price of ACH is even lower than that now, 0.005897. So it's a little bit lower even. It's okay. I'm okay. Because now I've got it trapped down there even more. And BlackRock was having a field day for the last 5 years, running these coins all the way down and stealing everybody's coins. But now that we're down there, it's like, all right, BlackRock, your move now. What are you going to do? I'm playing chess with those guys. I'm going to see what their big, brilliant move is going to be. It can only be one of two things. Try to go even lower, which makes no sense, because nobody has any more shares to give them. Nobody's selling anymore, I don't think. Everybody bailed out already because they were so far down. And now there's nowhere to go but up. And every time they try to wiggle it up, I take this free money, just like these down here. This Sheeb and this Doge, these closes. They gave me $224, $135, all this money down here, and you think, well, a $500,000 account, why should I only be making $51, $102? How come I'm not making a lot more? Well, when you add all these little amounts up, this is what they added up to, the 375,000. How about my other trader, Attila? I'm taking 950,000 on that other one, my original one that I opened in 2021,
Yes,
and I
sir.
did it the same way. Taking it's like you can't
Honey.
sell $50 bags of potato chips in a 7-Eleven. You know how much you got to charge for potato chips? Thanks, Kathy. Casey, were you here earlier when I was talking about Kathy Jagiello? She gave me this bin. I'll mention it again real fast for Casey. I
think I missed it, but
I met her at the M, and she gave me this big
cool.
tub, like the bucket
Of
in the well,
inventory?
right?
7-Eleven inventory?
She gave that to me. And
Nice.
with all these bags of chips, because what I was saying, because what I always talk about, she said, if you're running a 7-Eleven, you can't sell $50 bags of potato chips. You don't get to call the price. You have to go with what the market will bear.
Yep.
And the market will bear $2 empty bags of chips. Empty bags. They're like all air, right?
Yep.
You can sell you have to sell a lot of $2 bags. Just like this, you can only sell what the market's willing to give you. If I'm going to sit around and wait for them to give me $50 to $500 on a trade, I could be waiting a long time. So I got to just take what they're willing to give me, and it will add up because the profits just keep adding up forever. And
Yep.
and I have a crypto. I have a crypto Visa card that I live on, and I just live off these free money, all these profits. I mean, so far it is a very slow last 30 days, only $3,000 in profits. That's slow. I've had $30,000 months. This is just showing the market is going really, really slow. And why are the cryptos down today? You know what happened yesterday? As soon as they announced that this war, when they stopped bombing Iran, all these coins jumped straight up, and then now they came back down. Why? Why are they down on a good day? Really, it's a good day. Bitcoin's up 3% today to 71,000. But here, you want to see the latest new feature?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Yes.
Hold on. Hold that thought. So what I said, that whole aha moment that I had, I don't know why it took me weeks and weeks and months and years to think about that. But Anya says, what I was saying about your scenario, you put 200 grand in, you made almost 376, your account value's almost 400 or $530,000 versus if you were a buy and holder, it'd be worth 12 grand. Anya says that really sunk in finally. Okay, I'm converting from a buy and holder to a GB tier, except for my Bitcoin. Then Patrick, who's a great friend of ours, says, Edward, let that math sink in. Please state that again. That's brilliant. I mean, I don't know of any other way other than factually to put it. What is $530,000 bigger or smaller than 12,000?
And you would have got hammered if you went all in, which millions of people did. Here, when I was walking into a UPS store returning something I bought from Amazon, isn't it cool, Amazon? You can just drop it off at UPS and they take it back. So, you know, it's kind of, you don't have to go to stores and try to return stuff. So I'm walking into UPS and there's one guy behind the counter, and as I'm walking up, I go, "So, how's your crypto doing?" I don't even know the guy, right? I mean, you can even see me doing that because that's the kind of guy I am.
Oh,
I'm very vocal.
we can see you doing that.
So I walk in, I'm all happy, and I go, "Hey, so how's your crypto doing?" And he goes, "Oh man, my father lost everything." I'm like, "Whoa, what? How?" And he says he bought Bitcoin at 60,000 and then it went down to 30,000 and he sold it. And I'm like, "Oh my God, he sold it at, why did he sell it?" You know, and he didn't know, you know, and I didn't want to say that was the dumbest thing you could do. It's like, why would you? It's like, you know, if you think about it, that guy had no problem with throwing away half his money, literally throwing it out the window. But if he sees a poor guy standing on the corner with one leg asking for $1, he won't hand him money. I'm like, hand that guy $1,000, will you? You got these people on the street that really need it. If you're in the mood for throwing away thousands of dollars, just start handing it out. Hand $100 bills to people on the street as you're driving by. Need help, you know, you see those signs and all, and you're judging those poor people. I don't judge them at all. I hand out $20 bills all the time, just about every time I go out. You know, obviously, if I see a guy that looks like he's 22 years old and looks like he ought to be a Marine, it's like, go join the military or something. You don't need to be standing on the corner, but there are a lot of people out there that really could use it, you
Yep.
know, and, you know, here, I mean, I gave one guy $300 one time.
What got you on this soapbox?
Cut that out of the video. Wife can't hear that. But I do just hand out money too, you know, and why not? But if you're willing to just throw away your money in the market like it's garbage, just toss away thousands of dollars, why would you do that? Don't do that. To quit throwing away your money. So anyways, I learned from that. It's like, I mean, it blows me away, but I realized that's the majority of our society. They just throw away their money. They're gambling in the market. Nobody said that you need to gamble. You watch Fox News, or what is it, CNBC or MSNBC with all the ticker tape and all that.
Yep.
I don't hear anybody on
Fox
there
Business.
saying you need to gamble. Nobody said you need to gamble. And if this doesn't work, then all those stores out there are gambling, and we know they're not. So if they're not gambling and they got all that overhead, I just recreated a 7-Eleven with none of the overhead. I
Yep.
created the best store. This is the best
And-
store ever.
And
And
one
thanks
of
to
the
the
yeah, one
big
of the more
guys, they're
yeah,
pushing the prices around for us.
yeah, one of the more interesting things is I watch those shows with the talking heads. And if you notice one thing, they always tell you what already happened. And they give you no actionable intelligence to be able to go forward and as as Attila says, go forth and multiply your money. Although us little guys are sitting here trying to impart information that is actionable. We're not saying buy Swift at X and sell at X. This is a complete strategy of how to safely and securely create cash flow. I can't. It's hard for me to even say it's an investment because you're putting the money in a
It's a
machine that
joke.
just multiplies itself.
Well, here you can look on the lower right here and look at you can see the cells are where there's money, and the blank lines up here in the profit loss section those are buys. If you look to the left, you can see opens and closes. And if you just scroll up, you can see it's just like a 7-Eleven. You stock the shelf and you sell it off. You stock the shelf and you sell it off. And look at these amounts, $11, $5, right? And and it's whatever the market wants to give me. And and you just keep scrolling and you can see, and the numbers are getting bigger and bigger. Profits per trade are getting bigger and bigger as the account's getting bigger and bigger. And it's and it's just a constant fill the shelf and sell it off, fill the shelf and sell it off. And it never ends. It never ends. There's no way this will ever end as long as I live. And even if I died, it's going to keep on going. Then here's $338, and if you look at the dates, it's every day. Look at December 4th. Look at all this on the same day, buying and selling on the same day. I love that. I love it when the market does crazy stuff.
Well,
Let's go to January. We're almost there. Look what happened on January 26th? When ACH took off, Alchemy Pay. And then, it jumped. It jumped way, and look at the software. All these closes, all on the same day, all in minutes at 8:07 p.m.
Yeah. Dang.
$2,200, $2,000, $1,700, because it jumped up there like that in the auto trader. So it just started selling off all the inventory it had below that price. And it just kept going, and it went from 2 cents to almost 6 cents in a couple of days. Look at all this. And what I love about it is while it was going up, it was wiggling. So while it was going up, not only were we selling inventory that we bought before as the price went up, but we started buying more inventory on the wiggles while it was going up. So we started selling that off too.
Hey, Ed, why don't you show one more thing before we go into the Q&A? Because a lot of people are probably, if they're new to this webinar, they're wondering what happens if there's a market crash. Well,
We live for it.
go to October 9th and show what happened on the 9th, 10th, and 11th, and how if you were a buy and holder, you got wiped out pretty good in the October 10th crash of last year. October 10th, 2025. The market went down 20-30%. I mean, in one day, it just
Oh,
went.
yeah, that was a beautiful day. I was laughing so hard. Somebody texted me and he said, I could just hear you laughing because when the market drops 30% of the day, I'm just dying laughing. And he was right. I was actually laughing right when I read the text message that he sent me. He said, I could just hear you laughing. And he was right. I was laughing. But for now, though, we were just talking about those talking heads on TV, and they got all their suits on and their ties, and they try to look intelligent, right? Really, they don't know anything. But I don't want to look like them, so that's why I got to take off this coat. Because sometimes, it just irritates me I don't want to be put in the same class with them. They got those suit coats on and all that. It's like, it's all fake, Mind if I mess up my hair too? I'm kidding.
Not when you want to look like a rock star.
But what did you say, October what?
October 9, 10, 11.
Oh, here they are right here.
No, that's August.
Oh, how come I was thinking August, October?
There you go. There you go.
Oh, it was a buy day. Load up.
Okay,
Yeah.
so October 10th is really when this happened.
And the auto trader loaded up. It just bought all these open positions on a beautiful down day.
Yeah, but it wasn't beautiful for a buy and holder. They got crushed.
Oh, they hate it. Buying, and millions of people are like that. They're all buying and holding and sitting on stocks and stuff. And I'm like, man, that's just so terrible, you know, to watch everything go down, and you're not even, you know, and people aren't dumb, by the way. They're not. They just think other people know more than they do, and they take these trading classes. And in the trading class, the teacher, the instructor, is somebody who's not even trading in the market himself.
Right.
Because well, let me tell you something about an auto trader. You want to create an auto trader, you better know how to make money before you create the auto trader. Otherwise, you're going to automate losing strategies. So otherwise you're going to have an automated trader automatically losing. So that's why it took 25 years to get all that stuff that loses out of the system and just have what works in it. And then that's when I really realized, I mean, I wasn't calling this a 7-Eleven 10 years ago. You know, I just only in the last 5 years when I went web-based and I got rid of all those indicators from the old system, and I said, let's just create a money machine. That's when I realized I got a 7-Eleven, turning inventory. That's when it really focused on one thing. Just keep taking money. That's the secret. Just keep taking money. The bucket, it's real money. The profit's got to go somewhere because it's real money. Every time you close a position, that's real money. And it's not baloney, and it will add up. I always say, if you had a jelly jar, an empty jar, just start throwing marbles in it every day and watch how that thing spills over before long. Because that's real money. It's got to go somewhere, and it's your money. It's real.
All right. Well, Ed, we got
And you don't have to wait for the big kill. So for the next few days, it was just load up after that crash, and then just start selling it all off.
Yep.
And you notice we're getting a lot of, if you notice what's happening in the last few months, you're getting a lot of these wiggles, a lot of buy a couple, sell them off, buy a couple, sell them off, because we've got the market squeezed now.
Ed?
They're having a problem. BlackRock and those guys are having trouble because they can't really move the coins very much without us cleaning up.
So here's an example. Can you pull up CoinMarketCap or one of the ones that tracks? And I talked earlier about layer 3, L3. Show a 1 week 1 week chart on L3, and anybody that has a trader that is trading L3, there it is right there, layer 3. Okay. Change it to 1 week from 24 hours and look at what the trader did.
So picture everything we bought all down here at right here at 1 cent. All this right under a penny. Boom. When it jumped up there, we sold it all off at 2.5.028.
Yeah,
200% return.
250% return within a 1 day period.
And then it started going down, and you see all these wiggles. Buy more, sell it. Buy more, sell it. Buy everything we bought on the way down here. Sold it off on that one pop right there. Just sold all that off for free money. And then it goes down more. It's okay. We buy more, sell it off. You're just constantly, when we get drops like this, I love it. This is just, what a gift, because that's just straight down. Yep. So all of a sudden the price went from there to there. We buy down there, and just everything we bought there, we just start selling off up here. It's just a joke. The market is such an insult to humanity, I swear. It's the easiest game in town.
Hey, Ed.
And the numbers never stop. Oh, L3 is a great coin, because look, it did it there. And it did it again over here. It did another beautiful jump. This is a 150% move, you know, and we just cleaned up. That means all the inventory that you bought, everything you did down here is all gone. Once it did that, everything you own down there all sold off. I sold off half my shares the other day of the L3 I own.
No, let me
the lots I owned disappeared
let me correct you. You didn't sell anything.
No, I didn't do anything. The other trader did it all. I know.
Yeah.
It's just great. Actually, when I went to the screen and saw L3 jump 200% on the screen in the auto trader, the first thing I did is I went to Coinbase, CoinMarketCap to see if the price was real. I'm like, am I seeing, is this real?
Yeah.
And then I saw that it did go straight up. I'm like, wow, all
Hey,
that
Attila, we didn't
Look at
get a
all
chance
this.
to.
Who wouldn't look at this? Look at these wiggles. That is gold. Forget about buy and hold, man. Look what you're missing if you're not trading.
Yep.
It's just crazy, and this is a therapy session for me. You know that, right? Because I got to get it off my chest. I can't understand how everybody doesn't see it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Well, Attila, we didn't cover. A lot of people ask, well, how much money do I need to start with, and what's realistic returns? I did when I posted Casey's, and I said do some research. Ed, can you bring up the top traders?
Yeah, if you go to the website,
let's bring this up.
there's
before we
Crypto
go into
Casey's
the Q&A.
discount link at the top here.
Yep.
And you click on the top trader report. I brought it up right here. And it shows you the top traders. This is what they started with 1 year ago. It's a 1 year report. And you got to look a year back. You can't look at a week back or a month back because that's just the market messing with you. Let's look at what happens in a year. And you say, this guy started with $10,200 12 months ago. And he didn't do any trading manually or anything. He didn't change his strategy, didn't fiddle with the straight trader. If he does any of that, he doesn't show up in this report. So a lot of people do manual closing and stuff, and and because of that, they're not in the report. Some people say, well, is that the only 50 people that made money? And I'm like, no. I mean, a lot of people made 200% returns. The thing is, they did something manual, and that knocked them off the report. So started with 10,200, and this is what's important. Not the ending account balance, because that's just market manipulation, because the coin could have gone down faster than the profits were taken. But he actually took physically $29,000 off the table in physical profits. Where do you get a 289% return anywhere? You're not going to put your money in a bank and get that kind of a return. I mean, I don't know where you would even get that return. You can't plan it. You can only take what the market's going to give you. And, there's 289%. And, and here's one that started with $8,800, took $21,000 in profit. It's just a numbers game. Picture a guy with $1 million. Let's look at that. There's somebody here with $1 million in here. I think I lopped it off at $1 million.
There it is.
This guy had $1 million 1 year ago, took $857,000 more in profits.
Jeez.
Now he only got 79% return, but how would you like to double your million? I mean, that's the amazing thing. I've got so many people with a lot of money in here. Then you got people with not a lot of money here, $623, and he took $522 in profits. That's still an 84% return. Understand, look at percents, don't look at dollar values. Percents are what you need to look at because a guy with $1,000 can't expect to make $1 million in a year. It's not realistic. That's like you're asking to double your money every day. It's like you can't do that. The market won't do that. It won't. Every coin doesn't double every day in value. So you got to take what the market's willing to give you. So it's a numbers game. The more money you have, the more money you're going to make. It doesn't mean the guy with $1 million has a better strategy than you. He's running the same strategy that you're trading, the same strategy we're all using. Every one of us are using the same strategy. So when you go to other websites, some other bots out there that say, oh, I saw one where it said, if you give us this much money, we'll give you one strategy, but if you give us more money, we'll give you a better strategy. Goodbye. That's baloney. Or the one that said you can pick from 50 strategies to pick from. I'm like, you got 50 strategies that make money? Because I got one. I don't know where you're getting 50 different ways to make money in this market, without gambling.
All right, Ed, we've got quite a bit of questions in the queue.
Well, how about we look at the highest trade count report real fast? Is that okay?
That's okay, but that usually comes up in the questions, so we're probably going to end up going there anyway.
Well, I want to show Casey the new strategy on the money management.
Oh yeah,
Let's do it.
That's right. Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah. So let me remind everybody that's with us. Attila and I are always coming up with great ideas to give to Ed to consider putting in the trader. Guess how many he said yes to us for? Zero. Casey comes up with good ideas too. Guess who Mr. Barsano listens to?
You can
This is one of them.
manage profits. So what Casey said is, she said, I want to be able to have the auto trader make a bunch of money, but I want all the profits to go into my Bitcoin so that my Bitcoin, which you're buying your dollar cost averaging into, so where does it get more money to work with? So the auto trader's making all these profits from all the different coins you're trading, but then the profits, I added this. I said, you can direct the profits to any coin you want. If I wanted, say ACH was Bitcoin, I could sit here and I could say, take 100% of the profits. This is manage incoming profits as they're being made. If I want, I could set that to 100%. And if that went over 100%, I would have had to fix it because you can only do 100. And then it says cannot exceed 100% because I got 100 there and 10, 10, 10, 10. Right. I would have to reduce all these, to zeros, right? Because you can't put money. Or in my case, I was doing 10% per coin, flat out. Just divide up my profits as they come in to 10% per coin. And give this other coin, the coin that made the money, the individual coin that actually made profits, give that one an additional 10%. So one of these coins did a sell, and it got 10% because I told it to. But then down here I said, whichever one did the sell, the coin that made the profit, give that one 10% extra, and put the other 40% in my save bucket, which means my Coinbase Visa card. I gotta live. Right. So the other money is just going into my Coinbase Visa card that I could just use whenever I want. So that's how you distribute the money coming in. And then after I did that, I was thinking, okay, I gave Casey what she asked for. But then I said to myself, wait a minute. What about all the money that's sitting in my save bucket now? What if they want to distribute that to the different coins? It used to be just release. It used to be this, just release the money and it'll distribute it equally to all the other coins based on what the percentages are that you have on your select currency screen. But then I said, let's make it where you can actually distribute the money directly. So you got $441 to distribute. You can figure out how you want to divvy it up. You're just getting rid of the money that's in your save bucket, put it on however you want to do it. I could have said, put the whole $441 on ACH and empty my save bucket out. Mm-hmm. So
that's awesome.
So that's what I got $18,000 to distribute. I only so far this is the money that's already that's in my distributed bucket. Right now, if I wanted to add another 100 to that, watch this. I'm gonna do it. See, 18,372 in my save bucket. I'm going to take $300 and distribute it more. I'm going to add 300 to this one. So now that's distributing $741. So I'm going to hit save. That should have changed. See, it's still in development.
It did.
It changed.
It changed. Yeah, it's
$741 now distributed.
Yep.
So now let's go to the select currency screen, and you can see down here, let me refresh the screen. That just changed to $741 total distributed funds. So you got your save money here, that is just in my save bucket, that is not being used by the trader, and it's got my distributed money here, $741.
Which it is using.
Which it is using, and it's got my cash remaining when you add those together. My save money plus my distributed money is cash remaining that it's using. And so if I go down here now, I had to add this column here, and it's showing you for each coin how much money it's got distributed. So like this, I just added that $362 to ACH. There it is. And now if I want to decide right from this screen, I want to say, you know what? I got too much money saved in ACH. I'm going to release that money to all the other coins, right? So you see like this 52,834 funds remaining for this coin. If I free up this 362 just by checking this, watch that 52,834 went to 52,890. So it divvied up that 300 and if I uncheck that, you can see 362. It added that money to all the other coins. Like say I wanted to free up that one and this one. And so it distributed that money, the amount of money that it had there to all the other coins in the remaining funds. Spread funds equally,
Nice.
then there it is. So it went from, what did it go from? I don't even remember what it was.
Yeah,
And
and
if I want to
your
free
allocation
up
of
all that money, I can just check that one box and just say free up all the money I had distributed and let it just go equally to all the other coins. So you have a way to deal with that money better than I had to add it to the screen too. So
and then
Casey,
with
you
that
added a ton of work to me, by the way. That
yeah.
was a lot of programming.
Actually, what we're going to do, what Attila and I are going to do, is we're going to funnel all of our ideas to Casey, and Casey's going to ask you. But
You got the
I
system.
noticed you also allowed for decimal points in the
Oh yeah,
percentages of
here.
spread.
So now when you say spread funds equally, because we added decimals to this amount, to the percent to each coin, it divvies up the money more equally on the right.
Yep.
When it was just fixed numbers like 21%, 15%, these numbers would be a little bit different because 1% can make the number jump a lot. Now it's a lot closer to what they are, to
All right.
divvying up the money. So you can always spread your funds equally remaining. Because what happens, I can tell you, as you don't have to know any of this stuff, but as you own the auto trader, it doesn't hurt to know how everything works. Like this coin here, funds used, it used 194,000 of its 244,000 that was available to it, which meant it had 50,000 left. Or it didn't have. It wouldn't have had 50,000 left. But what I did is, like this one here only had 108,000 used. So what I did is I said, spread the money. So he would have had a lot more money available to him. He would have had almost 90,000 more dollars available to him. Doge would have over GRT. So I said, borrow money from that one. Let's just divvy up all the available money equally. So you just click on that and just spread it equally. There, now because the name of the game here is just making sure all your coins have money to work with. You don't want so that's why I try to discourage people from doing crazy things like one person got excited about XRP once, and so she went to her Coinbase account. She thought XRP was going to go to the moon. She read an article or something, and so she quickly bought $40,000 worth of XRP manually at the exchange at Coinbase. And then she calls up a few days later and said, how come my auto trader's not buying anything? And she's used to seeing it buy coins. And I looked at her account. I said, well, there's no money in here. You used all the money it had. You took the whole 40,000 and bought XRP with it. So there's no available funds for the rest of the coins. So that's why I discourage people from doing manual trades and all. They don't realize the auto traders, some people say, I want my auto trader using all my money. It is using all your money and it's math. But it doesn't mean it has to buy a bunch of coins with all your money all at once. It's spreading it out so that no matter where the coin goes, you're always able to trade. I make just as much money per trade, whether the coin's at the top or at the bottom. I'm still going to pump out the same amount of money per trade. And that's what it's all about. Profit.
Awesome.
We are at the top of the second hour. So let's transition into
time goes too fast.
Yeah, well, we're sharing great stuff, and yes, it always goes too fast, but being mindful to make sure that everybody's questions get answered. Attila, do you want to take? Actually, let me take one, and I'm actually going to point it at Ed and Casey. Anya's asking, can you please unpack the Ed's idea that the market has been in a 5-year bear trend? Casey.
It's obvious. Just look at the prices.
Yeah, I mean, the last time we had a significant pop, what was it, 2021?
Yeah.
And we did have a little bit of we had
From
like a mini
April
rally. Okay.
From the time I went in April to October of 21, the market was going straight up. And then the whales decided they wanted in. They didn't want in
Yes.
at those prices. They wanted in a lot lower.
We did have like a meme coin, Solana, AI little pop for about 4 months, March of 2023, 4.
I think it was 4.
Well, I mean, the
No,
trend has been,
23. It
yeah.
was 23 or 24,
Yep.
maybe. Yeah.
No, I think it was
popped.
23 because I actually bought the trader unbeknownst to them around January and was testing it out, and I did experience that pop with it, which was very interesting in a good way. Very, very interesting. Like, wow, this thing is
Taking free money.
something.
I think the bottom line is by and large, the market has been in a bearish trends for about 5 years.
Yeah,
I mean,
really, if you look across the board, we talk about an 80 plus, 90 plus % down market. I mean, that is a trend over the last 5 years.
Yep.
Well,
Okay.
Bitcoin right now is at the same price it was a year ago, so it hasn't even moved really. It went all the way up to 120,000 and came all the way back down, So the auto trader took advantage of that. If you were a buy and holder, you didn't. You watched it go up, then you watched it come down. And actually, before it went up to 120,000, what did it do? It went from 60 down to 24,000 a couple of years ago.
Now,
And
Anya,
millions of people dumped at those low prices, and then it rocketed to new highs. And now it came back down again. We know it's going to go back up there.
yeah, the beautiful part of that, Anya and everybody else, is that by and large, the trader has never seen a bull market. Not one to speak about, really, anyway. Like Casey just said, there were small, short periods where we got some boost, but they were short-lived. As far as an extended, real, serious bull market, that's still going to happen. Never seen it.
Yeah, I'd say we haven't seen an altcoin season in a minute. We did see Bitcoin pop from 2024. It hit that new all-time high, but altcoins didn't really perform like they had in previous cycles, which the trader is better at trading because there's more volatility than, I mean, whenever we go to the frequently traded report.
Oh, this is it.
Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, Bitcoin doesn't move as much as these smaller ones, and the movement in what we capitalize on.
Well, look at this new feature.
Oh, another one. See, every week.
There's the 1%. This is a 3% report. This is showing over the last 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and 12 months how many trades each of these coins actually did. If you owned an auto trader, this is what the numbers were in the last 12 months. Okay. Now, how many trades? And you can see it month over month on the right here. These numbers on the right is showing us each month. There's September, October, November, December, January, February, March. And, every month this comes out with a new report. And it adds another month here. But you can see that, how many trades. Look at this down here. 92 trades, 98 trades, 118 trades, 74 trades. If I'm running a 7-Eleven, back to 7-Elevens, I want product on my shelf that sells a lot. I want a lot of what?
Inventory.
I got a whole bucket full of potato chips here, folks. Thank you, Kathy. But this is what I want. I want coins that move a lot. Give me 1,584 trades in a year. I don't want to trade the junk at the bottom that's, going to give me, like 234 trades in a year. Monthly, 1 trade in a month, 4 trades, 0 trades. Look at these garbage numbers. I don't want this. I don't want to put that in my 7-Eleven. You know what I don't want in my 7-Eleven? Iodine. Nobody's going to buy that. A lot of you young people don't know what iodine is. But that's what this is, a bottle of iodine.
You might want to buy some of that if you're a buy and holder in the crypto market.
Yeah, buy some iodine and sit on that for a while and wait for it to go up.
So let me layer one more thing on the topic that Anya asked. In that same period of time, in that downtrend, right, bearish trend, consider what this trader has done. Just in this account, actually one of Ed's first accounts, it's five. I mentioned this at the beginning. 5 extra money in a 90% plus down market. How is that? How is that possible?
Can't do it if you're a buy and holder. You're just going to be losing, watching your account go lower, lower, lower.
Yep. Ed, before we take the next question, can you go all the way up and hit that 1% button? Because I just did on my trader.
This is Bitcoin here on 3% moves. You would have had 167 trades last year. But let's go now and look at these numbers here. 1626 on 3% moves. Look what happens when you go to 1% moves.
Over 8,000.
Yeah. 8,000 trades. Now, this is what we were talking about, Casey, last week. We were talking about what is Bitcoin going to look like if we go to 1% moves. But then we said, you pointed out, yeah, but what's going to happen to the other coins? And I said, I don't know. Let's see. And there it is. The other coins also jump like crazy. So if I go down to Bitcoin now, it's got a whopping 1,000 trades in a year on 1% moves. So you're getting a lot more trades. I got to figure out what happened on these right here, because this 1% report's brand new, and some of these numbers didn't come in. I'm not sure why that is. I'm going to have to research that. But, just deduct any of these numbers from it. Add 69 to that, then you're at 1,069, if it did, because I don't think it's going to do, I don't think last month it did any better than any of these other months. But if you're going to do 1% moves, so somebody might ask, why not do 1% moves? That's in a slow market. I'll tell you why I don't like the idea of doing just 1% moves in a normal market is I don't want to sell something at 1% and then tomorrow it jumps 30%. And I just gave away my shares at 1%. I'm actually now, if you look at my strategy, let me look at my strategy real fast right here. I have it set to do 5%. Profit goal is set to 5%. Oops, right here. Because I want to punish the market. Because you push the coins all the way to the bottom, why should I give away any of my shares for nothing? For only 1% or 3%. I know some people have their strategy set the profit goal 10%. Because they're saying, why should I give away my shares at 5% when now you're going to miss trades? I think 10% is a little high because you're going to miss the 2%, 3%, 4%, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9% moves. You're going to be missing all that wiggling. So you are going to miss a lot of trades if you're waiting for 10% moves. But I feel like 5% is pretty good because we are getting good jumps in the market on the days when we're getting them. We're just getting ridiculously slow days these days lately. And I think that's just because I think BlackRock's out of money. So they're not trading as much. I think they're waiting for the what's that bill coming out? The Clarity Act.
Well, we don't know. We don't know, but they're working on it. It's whenever
I think it's close. You know when it's going to get approved? When the senators are all in. When any senator or, anyone in the House that owns crypto is going to say yes to that bill. You know that because they're sitting on crypto. It's the ones that don't own it that might say no. But if you own crypto, you're all in, baby.
Yep. Hey, Ed, we got to get back to the Q&A here. Sam's got 2 questions, so I'll start with the first. Would you do the math for us? Say like PRCL did 92 trades last month. If a person had GoBabyTrade and only
No, it did. Wait, PRCL did 25. Wait a minute.
Go back to the 3%, I think.
Yep.
Oh, all right. Yeah. It did 92 trades.
Okay. So he says if a person had GoBabyTrade and only traded PRCL and had, say, $10,000 in it, how much money would they make in that month with 92 trades at 3% profit target?
Well, 3 times 9, 3% times 9.
Well, but hold on a second. Wouldn't you need to factor in the fact that whole $10,000 was not positioned?
Right.
Yeah, I guess describe what seasoned, like it needs time to start collecting
It
inventory.
needs, that's why I always tell people the sooner you get in, the better, because your auto trader needs to build some inventory.
Yeah, it's not going to buy everything at once. It's going to wait until it's a good time to
So
buy.
if you go to your trader and click on the on the plus, you can see what your lot sizes are, funds used on each trade. Like my trader trades in $4,676, $4,824. That's how much it's investing per trade. But it's going to be based on how much money you have in your account. And it's going to do all that dividing it all up between the coins you are trading, and then considering it's got to cover it all the way to the bottom in case the coin goes down there. You don't want to run out of money at the top if the price goes all the way down. So you might be trading in $25 lots. I don't know, $300 lots. So
Sam, the bottom line, I gotta tell Sam, the bottom line is there's too many variables to that question that can't, it depends, you know?
You take what the market wants to give you and you quit overthinking it, because when you're overthinking it, I hear people saying, I want to make $100 a day, and I'm like, yeah, well, that's going to be how many thousands of a percent per year? You're not going to make that. Not unless you're sitting on a real lot of money, and I might make it. I've got a $500,000 account, but you're not going to come in here with a $1,000 account and say, I want to make $100 a day. People got to quit worrying about how much you're going to make. 8% a month is 100% a year. If you're making 8% a month, you're doing 100% a year. If you're making just 4% a month, you're doing 50% a year. That's still fantastic numbers.
If you're only making 2% a month.
What the market will give you, you can't dictate to the market what you want to make.
Yeah, and Sam, if your question was worded a little bit differently, like how much would that 10,000 make in a bank? Then that's an easy answer. Zero.
Nothing.
So,
the average is 0.06%. And they're lending it out.
I stand corrected. And also what Edward said before, he said in tongue in cheek, Edward and I have asked for Ed to do things for us on the trader, and he did comply. So it's just that
I know he's just messing with me. I know. I give you what you want.
He complies faster when Crypto Casey asks. That's what he meant.
Right. We know.
Let me just put it this way: you would have never got this feature, Attila. You'd have never got this one. It was too much.
Attila, you noticed he addressed it to you.
Right.
You would not get it.
Right.
But an important thing to know, even though we're all talking about how to make money with the auto trader and all that stuff, but let's talk about traditional finance. When somebody puts money. Some of you older folks may be able to relate to this. Me too. I remember when I used to have a Passbook account. Okay? There was, where you get your paycheck and you go to the bank and you deposit it and they you handed them your book and they stamped it in there, right? And, and in our mind, we were thinking we're saving money. We're saving our money. We're putting it in the bank to save our money. Well, stop and think. You can save your money under your pillow. Under your mattress. You could save your money in a drawer. So when you give your money to the bank, you're doing more than save your money. You think you're just saving your money, which is all you really are doing, because they're not giving you anything for it. But in reality, what you really are doing when you give your money to the bank is you're loaning your money to the bank. And I want to show me a credit card that'll loan money to me and not charge me for it. So when you loan your money to the bank, they take all that money and they loan it out to other people for car loans, house loans. They loan their money to the credit card companies. Why? And they get kickbacks from that. They get a certain percentage of that 30% that the credit card company is charging you to use that card. So you borrow money from a credit card company. They charge you 30%. They made their money. They give their money, so much of that to the bank. Everybody's making money on your money except you.
Yep.
You just gave your money to the bank for free. It's like, what are we, 5 years old? This is why I call this a therapy session for me, is because I can't understand how I live in a society that doesn't see the obvious ripoff. How do you not see this? How are those banks even in business?
In everybody's defense, you don't learn that on purpose.
You got a finance degree. Didn't you learn it?
I learned it. And I learned that I got a degree in the biggest scam ever.
And paid for it.
Yeah.
and paid for it.
All right, let's get to Sam's other question. And Casey,
Well, wait, I had one more point I wanted to make that I forgot about.
okay.
When we were talking about the level 2 screen where they could see your orders,
Hmm.
let's talk logically for 1 second. If I'm playing poker, even though some of you don't even know how to play poker, but even if you don't know how to play poker, you still know enough to hide your cards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're a little kid, you're sitting around showing everybody your cards. You know, most people are smart enough to hide their cards in a poker game. But yet in the market, they just throw their limit orders. Hey, I want to buy it if it goes here. I want to sell it if it goes there. Put that right out there in public view.
Right.
You know you're going to get ripped off. Literally, the market is actually designed to rip you off, and nobody's telling you this on TV.
Right.
Nobody is telling you hide your orders. Don't put that out there. Don't let that float out there in public view. But they're not even telling us that. And nobody will even tell you you're putting money in a bank and you're not even getting paid for it, but yet they're loaning the money out and getting something using your money. They're using your money to make money, but they're not giving you anything for it. And they don't even want to tell us that. They're really now you know why I'm so irreverent when it comes to the market. They're
Yeah.
making fools of us all over the place. Why should I respect them when they don't deserve respect?
I agree. Okay, I got to move on, Ed. So
Okay. I still
Sam,
got water left. It's okay. Take your time.
yeah,
I still got some of my smart water left.
bottle. Did she buy you an extra large?
Four
She
bottles.
bought me
So
4 of these big giant bottles.
Casey,
So
Smarter
look out,
one.
when I show up in one of these, you know it's going to be a 4-hour webinar.
you might be able to help on this question. I could only make a recommendation for Sam. If a
Sure.
person had $10,000 in GoBabyTrade and Coinbase, which Coinbase One program would you sign up for? They have a $5 a month plan, a $30 a month plan, and a $300 a month plan. I will tell you this is what I know, and then Casey, you could pipe in. I've
Sure.
never seen Coinbase have a page where they break this down exactly what each level gives. So you may want to type it into Claude or into Chat GPT. But Casey, do you have the answer for that? You don't need the $300 a month plan. That's for sure.
No. I've
No.
had the
No.
I've had
No.
the $30 one, and I get the rebates back for the trading. I get
A higher rate on USDC.
Yeah,
for
we know
traders.
that.
you don't need the
We
300.
know that.
I've never heard of the $5 one. This must be kind of
Yeah,
new.
that's
the
a
five-
fairly new one. And
Yeah,
I
I've never
think
heard of that.
their screen, if you go to coinbase1.com/ or just
Plans.
search for Coinbase, just search for Coinbase One on the internet.
Oh, now
and
I see it. Okay.
they break it down and they actually show it looks like it's the same as the $29 one.
No, there's got to be a
Well,
difference.
zero trading fees up to $500 a month versus 10,000.
Yeah, that's a big
Oh,
deal.
all right.
Coverage for account protection is 1,000 versus 10,000. 5% staking rewards.
Does it say anything about a rebate on fees?
Yeah, up to $500. Well, that's
Okay.
zero. Sorry.
Okay. Well, listen, here's the difference.
Oh, I get way more than that back every month. They give
Yeah.
us, we get 25. They give us 25% of our.
There's
fees.
there's no rebate
back.
for the $5 one. There's the 25% RAT spot rebate.
Most
on the
people have the
$30
$29.99 a month one.
And it's free for 7 days. You could do a trial on that. Okay. Edward, you want to grab the next question?
Yes, you just read Sam's. Bear with me. Patrick, what does the release all save profits checkbox do? That's one question.
All right, I'll answer that real fast. That release all up here, it just checks all these for you. Some people have 100 coins. You don't want to have to go through and uncheck, and check each one individually. If you wanted to just release all the money, just click that.
But that's the funds that you decided to
The distributed
save
money.
profits ones that you want to automatically distribute.
Right. So you don't even have that. You're not even going to see that unless you're distributing the money specifically to individual coins on your on a managed profit screen. Unless you actually went in here and did this, distributed them individually, most people, I mean, that's a new feature. I haven't even released it yet. But most people just up here, they said for managing their money, they just, where's it at? What am I doing?
The managed profits, I think. Yeah.
Manage incoming profits, right. Most people automatically just say, like, save 100% of my profits. They just put it down here. And then all the rest of this stuff is all new that I just, in this distribute profits. This down here always existed, save profits. You just put it up, you can put up to 100% here. And then, but now that if you're distributing individually to these other coins, now this is new. So when you're on your select currency screen, if you distribute it, you notice if I didn't distribute any money to one of these coins, then this would, like Sheeb. Let's just go there real fast. So let me show you real fast.
Yeah.
Sheeb. I'm going to do this fast.
Yep.
No, not Sheeb. Let's do it to another one. I didn't want to do that. Refresh. All right. Let's zero this guy out. 0.00. Save. What does this say? Invalid value. Which doesn't it like? This is a brand new screen. So there's nothing wrong with that number. Why is it doing that? Man, this is a terrible way to demonstrate something that it's too new. Here, give it, well, I don't want to give it any money though. I may not be able to
negative 55 cents, which is what you get from the bank.
Yeah,
I just can't.
That's when you distribute it to your bank account.
Yeah. The daily rate compounds negative 55 cents every day.
The two nearest value. It won't let me go to zero on that. I have to fix that. See, it's too new. I just created this in the last couple days. It's not letting me redistribute that there. Oh, I know how to do it here. Let's go here. Let's go to the select currency screen. And let's just do this. Let's take GRT. Uncheck that. So it redistributed that money that was in there. I'm going to hit save. Okay, it's saved. Now let's scroll down again. And if I don't have any money distributed, it takes it away here.
Yeah, scroll up a little bit so we can see the top of that line. Just scroll up a little bit. So that's under the distributed funds column. And you unchecked it. So now
because there's no funds in GRT you didn't distribute anything to it. So on this screen, there's nothing to undistribute. So I took away the checkbox and I just left that blank. So you'll only see it on the coins that you actually have funds distributed to, because on this screen, you might want to uncheck, you can't change the number here. You have to go to the manage profit screen. Like you saw me add $300 to this one here from the saved bucket. I took 300 out of the saved and I said, distribute that money that was saved. Throw 300 of that 18,000, give 300 to that coin, distribute it directly to that coin specifically. Before you could say release $300 from the save bucket, but then it would get divvied out automatically based on these percentages of each coin. But this way I said give it directly to that coin only. So these are bells and whistles, all right, folks. You're not even, until I release the feature, this screen here isn't going to show, if they're all going to be, this column's not even going to be there on your screen. So until you distribute it, but you can't distribute it until I release the feature. So I'm going to say something to all you guys on here right now. Because a lot of people, I'm getting emails because they hear me talk about it during the webinar. And they're saying, when are you going to release that? When are you going to release that? I can't release this to 10,000 people without testing it. So I'm going to say anybody, and it's not going to hurt you, but if you want to be a tester, if you're willing to just say, hey, give me the feature, I want it, and tell me if anything's wrong. Like you just saw me on the other one. I tried to put 0 and it gave you an error. You can shoot me an email on that if you want to be a tester. So send email to support@gobabytrade.com and say, let me be a tester of the distributed funds feature. And some of you will send me that email, I'm sure of it. And that's cool, because it's okay for me to release it to 20 or 30 people. That's okay. I just can't release it blindly to thousands of people before I work out all these little bitty tweaks.
Yeah, and I just put both GoBabyTrade support and RCT marketing system support in the chat.
Just shoot me an email and say, hey, I want to be, and I already know some of you are gonna, for sure are gonna send me that email and say, hey, I'll test it. That's cool. I just need more people using it before I can just release it to the public.
That was just the first question out of 3 from Patrick. So go ahead.
4.
Is that Patrick Jennings?
No, different Patrick.
Oh, okay.
Number 2, I have allow list box checked for the coins that I no longer want.
Allow sells.
Allow. What did I say?
Allow list.
Allow.
All right. Allow sells.
Allow sells. Right, for the coins that so I just wait until the trader decides to sell. Is that the correct thing to do? Yes.
Well, just like what I have right here, you want to allow it to buy and you want to allow it to sell. Now, if you're dollar cost averaging only and like you don't want to, like say this GRT, I don't want to sell it. I want to accumulate it, because the dollar cost average is really good because it makes sure you're not going in at the same price. Some people feel like they're dollar cost averaging by throwing $100 a week or a month into that one coin. You're buying it every month at the same price you already own it at. That's useless. You want to spread your money out better than that. So you don't want to be buying it at the same price that you already own it at. The software tracks that and it never buys it at the same price. So if it's sitting here going up and down and you're not even really moving, it's not going to just keep plowing more money in at the same price.
Right.
So in that case, you would, but because if you buy it here and the price goes higher, you can't just say add as declining, because you're waiting for it, because then if it goes higher, it's waiting for it to go down. So you have to say allow it to go up, allow it to add while it's going higher.
Yep.
But if you're allowing it to sell, you don't need to check add as price advances like these, because if it goes up, you're going to sell it and take the profit. And then you're always going to own one above it, so you're always going to be adding to a decliner.
So specific to his question, so if he wants to just sell off and not trade the coin anymore, he would uncheck.
You just do that. Just uncheck the ad. Don't have any of the ads checked, and you can do that.
Got it. Okay. So
and it won't buy anymore.
So only have.
But however, look what I just did. Did you notice something? Watch this.
It reallocates the money.
$219,000. When I said don't sell it, it's going to redistribute. It released that $219,000 from all to the other coins, right? So it took it out of this one. But look what it left.
It released the 51,000, which was remaining funds.
Oh yeah, right. Oh yeah, right. It released the 51,000. Whoops, here, of the remaining funds. But look what it left in there. It left the distributed funds. And this is a case where you would say, also, I want to redistribute that 362 to the other coins also. And I would check that then.
Right.
Did you notice the number over here got bigger, this number here? Watch when I do that. It made it go to 134 from 348 to 405. Yep. And then you can say that now that extra money, that 50,000, you hit spread funds equally. So now it took that extra money that you were originally using on this one. It took all the distributed money plus the saved plus all the money that it had remaining, and it just divided it up between the remaining coins that you're trading.
Yep.
That's how you do
that. His third of 4 questions. How should you spread funds across really cheap coins? Pepe is listed at 0.0000. Does that mean it will disappear? No, it just has more zeros in it. I have my
No
doubts.
more than Sheeb. No more than Sheeb is going to just disappear.
Yep. I have my
Sheeb's
doubts
got
whether the
6
price
cycles.
will ever recover to a point where the
And
trader
don't
will
trade
sell
it.
what I have.
Don't trade it if you don't believe in it. Don't trade it. Don't trade stuff you don't believe in. Real seriously, if you don't believe in a coin, don't trade it by all means. But the auto trader, you're telling the auto trader when I'm going to go down here to the settings. I've got it set. Whoops. This is my trading window, a 100% trading window. And it says right on the bottom, all funds except the profits saved will be used within 50 lots. I told it 50 lots, go down, allow it to go down 50, allow it to buy it 50 times from the top to the bottom. 50 times, right? Now, I'm telling it I want to allow it to use all the money that I've allocated to the auto trader to trade. If I don't want it to use it, because I hear some people say, well, the coins are going lower, I don't want it buying more of that money. It's like, well, why did you put it in there in the first place? You got a strategy. Did you not think the coins would go down there? The software completely thought it was going to go down there. It completely planned for it to go down there. There was no mystery. The auto trader didn't freak out when it went down there. The auto trader said, hey, I expected to go down there. And actually, this is another thing where your DNA is not ready for it. Down is good. Down is great.
Right.
And that's what you're
this
not
is
used
Pepe?
to. And this is, pardon me?
This
His
is Pepe?
question is Pepe. Yes.
Yeah, it's number 53 by market cap. It's 1.
Oh, on the highest counts report? Maybe.
No.
Just by market
market
cap.
cap.
It's huge. And it's a meme coin that
Yeah.
Pepe's
I don't think Pepe's going anywhere.
no, I don't either.
No, I don't. You don't think it's going to go out of business? I know. I don't either. A lot
it's
of
not
us
even
own
in
it.
business.
I trade
it's a
it.
joke, which
I
is
own
even
it.
better, actually.
I trade Pepe. I love the money I make from it. Because I'm not worried about it. And this is where your DNA kicks in. You're not used to coins, things going the wrong way. Because in your mind, you buy it and you want it to go up. You're eager for it to go up, like you're going to run out tomorrow and buy a Ferrari. You're just like, it's got to go up. I want it to go up. I'm like, I don't care when these things go up. I'm just, I'm going to just keep taking money till I die and watch that bucket fill up. And that's it. I even suggested the other day that somebody put a bucket next to a door in your house that opens a lot. And the guy suggested, well, how about the bathroom? I said, okay, put a bucket next to the bathroom, and every time somebody opens that door, throw $1 in that bucket. And watch how many dollars are in that bucket at the end of the month.
Let me ask everybody a question, and you need to ponder this real carefully. Everybody's heard of Warren Buffett, and since he was a very young man, he was very, very successful in trading. You think when he bought stocks of a railroad or stocks of a company that he invested in, like every couple months, he's like, man, maybe I should sell this. It's not going up like I want it to go up. No, he knew that at some point he would be made whole. And that's a buy and holder. So it's not the exact right example, but I'm just trying to show you that Ed Barsano is correct. You can't be micromanaging an automated trader. It's automated for a reason. It's doing everything based on 25 years plus experience, over 3 million lines of code. That's why you bought it, so you could set it and forget it. Don't be trying to micromanage something that's automated to begin with. It knows what it's doing. It's doing it on your behalf. And Pepe,
oh, look at this number here. See that 27%?
27% of the people are in Pepe with their trader.
Yeah, if I go to the top, look at the label on that.
Yeah.
Percent of traders. Percent of GoBaby traders that own these coins. 22%.
What's the highest? Can you sort by the highest?
I can click percent.
There you go.
39% of us are in SUI.
It's the top
34% of
five.
us. Pardon me?
It's top 5. It's 5th.
Oh yeah. I mean, look at, just the top 5. You see, this is what I'm saying. You could just literally, I opened up a trader. I have 4 auto traders. I threw 100,000 into one trader, and I just went and I said, give me the top 5 of these coins, and that's it. I didn't even do any research on them. I said, hey, these people ain't all wrong. That many people. That means these are money machines. They're just going to keep pumping money, baby. And I don't have to do the research. And I'm not going to trade the stuff that's at the bottom. I don't want to trade. Because there's coins down here, man. 1% of people trading them. And then look at all these zeros. Nobody's even in these coins. Or, no, I'm wrong. There's somebody trading every coin, but it's less than 1%. It's a fraction, like 0.00 something or 0.01. It's less than 1% is the zero. So yeah, I'm not interested in trading. I'm running a 7-Eleven. I want the products that move the most. I want Monster drinks, potato chips, candy bars, vapes. I want the stuff that turns inventory. Anybody running a store knows what I'm talking about. You want to have a lot of chips on that shelf. You know why? Because if you only got one bag of potato chips on your shelf and a school bus pulls in, you're only going to sell one bag of potato chips. If you got 50 bags of potato chips on your shelf and a school bus pulls in, those kids are going to buy up all those potato chips. Especially if a popular kid buys the potato chips, everybody's going to buy those potato chips. Because everybody wants to do what the popular kid does.
Your screen has more columns, I think. Mine doesn't have the percent of traders.
What? Which one?
Think so. I'm doing the highest trade counts. Oh, maybe because I'm not logged in.
Yeah, right.
Okay, that's probably why. One second.
Details.
Little details. You don't see that on the website. The people that go to the website, they don't see the percent of our users that are in each coin.
Yeah, no, Casey's right. My high trade count does not show the percentages either.
Are you logged in?
Yes.
I'm logging in now. I'll see. But I don't know. All right, trader report. Highest trade counts. I'm logged in now. Let me see. Somebody made money. Was that me?
Yes.
I can see. I can actually see. I'm logged in and I can see it. Percent of traders.
So you see the percent of traders.
I do now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to get back to the Q&A, Ed.
Yeah, that when Crypto Casey said someone made money, she heard the sound of a cash register.
Right. Yeah, did you hear it on the? I heard it, and I think it was just my thing as soon as I logged in.
And that means that, and because it pops up something on the screen. I used to love that when I first created it years ago. You'd be in the kitchen doing something, and I used to have my laptop in the bedroom, and I heard that ka-ching, and I'd go running in the bedroom to see how much money I made on that trade.
Now
the first time it happened, I didn't even know. It was just open on one of my tabs, and it was loud. And what was that? I'm like, oh, I guess it's this thing.
And these are features people asked for. Somebody said, make the sound of a cash register. So I figure, why not? I'll throw that in there. People ask for stuff. I actually give it to them,
All right, Patrick, on to his fourth question. I had existing BTC that I moved into a separate folder. I'm assuming you're suggesting portfolio if you're using Coinbase. When I purchased the auto trader, is there any way I can identify BTC in this folder that I should move to default folder to the auto trader can work with them? I'm not sure I can unravel
you
that
don't
question.
Want to. Do you want to sell your Bitcoin? Do you want to allow it to sell as it's wiggling, or are you dollar cost averaging and just saving it as it's going to go higher?
So the assumption is that he has his BTC in a separate portfolio.
I would leave it in the separate portfolio. That's your Bitcoin that you want to save and hold forever. And then in your new when you add GoBabyTrade to your auto trader, it's not looking at that folder, that portfolio. It's looking at your default, your primary account. It'll trade in there. And don't let it get in, because if you bring that Bitcoin into GoBabyTrade, as soon as it goes up 3 or 5%, it's going to sell it. It's going to sell it off as one big lump, one lot. So I wouldn't mix that with the day trading part of it.
Right.
I would leave that where it's at, and if you want to trade Bitcoin, let it just trade in your current account. Let it just use the USDC to trade with, so it can do the money management.
Yep.
Good suggestion, Ed.
So yeah, Jeff says it would be helpful to use L3 crypto as a perfect example of how Ed's system took the free money last weekend. Yes, we're actually the reason why I brought it up and I had Ed bring it up is because we're going to snippet that part out. We'll clip it and we'll probably put it in a video. And then Casey, that actually is a come to think of it a great example that when you talk on your videos about the trader, that may
Yeah.
be a perfect example to bring up.
Sure.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Good idea. Thank you.
Only
All right,
12% of us are sitting on L3.
well, and that's a whole lot of 12% happy people.
Oh man, are you kidding? We were ecstatic, man. I love it, man. I
Yep.
just love free money.
Okay.
Attila,
Yeah, sure. I'll be happy to
Susie.
grab the next question by Susie Moran. I've been using GoBabyTrade since July 2025 and have stayed with the same coins since then. Should I choose other coins that have more volatility? I say no. If so, when is it recommended? I say never.
Never.
And is there a procedure to do that? I say don't be bothered with that. Listen, guys, technically speaking, you could switch in and out of coins. If you're a masochist, it's a great idea. Okay. But just pick your coins, stick with them, because you don't have a magic wand or you don't have a crystal glass that shows you what those coins that you own are going to do. How do you know? Where's your guarantee that the coins you own now are not going to outperform the ones you end up switching to? You've got nothing in writing. You've got no guarantee from anybody. All you have is a little bit of a track record to look at now saying, oh, that coin that I am not in now looks like, quote unquote, it's more volatile than the coin I'm in.
Yeah.
That's stinking thinking.
And that's temporary. I've had people
Yeah.
tell me, I knew one guy that was doing that a lot. He lived and died by this other website he had that said, oh, these show me the top moving coins. And I'm like, and I try to talk him out of it, of course. But he said, no, I just stopped trading the ones that aren't moving and I move into the other ones. And I'm like, well, the problem is when you stop trading these coins, look, if I stop trading all these coins and say I move out of all these and I go ahead and add another coin here, let's put L3 there, for instance, since I don't have it in this trader, and I say spread funds equally. So it took the 255,000 of available money that all the other trader coins were using, and it's using that one now only. Now here's the problem with that. You're a buy and holder now on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different coins. You are a buy and holder. And when those coins drop 30% down, you're not buying more. So now they're wiggling like crazy down here, but your last buy is 30% higher, right? Since you turned it off. You turned it off to trading. So now it's doing this. And you're not making anything. And you're waiting for that one coin to go, but then he starts dying off too. So now the price is, and he becomes not a top mover because it was only top mover. He was a big mover on that other fancy website. The problem is there's always going to be coins that are moving temporarily faster than yours. What's nice about the highest counts report is there's always going to be coins. You can't own all the good coins is what I try to tell people. If you own, there's 100. If you were just trading any coin in the top 100 here, they're all good movers, and you can't own them all. I see some people trying to own all of them. And then I don't worry about also if a coin is whether, like somebody said once, it's like Swift and SPA. SPA's at number 6. Swift and SPA, if you guys remember, they were the number 1 and 2 coin for 6 months straight, and they were swapping places. Swift would take the number 1 spot, and SPA was number 2, and then a couple months later, SPA moved up to number 1. It had its years. The number was bigger that month, but the thing is, now look where they're at. Swift is number 2, SPA's number 6. These other coins popped in out of nowhere. PRCL became a big mover, and now it moved its way all the way up. It used to be a lot lower, and now it's worked its way up higher because it's had these great months. It's just having these fantastic months. Look at this. Those are great numbers. At that rate, he's gonna move all the way up and past these other two if he keeps up that number there every month.
Hey, Ed,
Well, Ed,
show
But
your
you can't.
trader.
This is just a quick comparison to see which coin happens to give you the most in a year. But I wouldn't be trying to. I
Yep.
wouldn't make. Really, what you're comparing is the best coins, the biggest movers versus the coins at the bottom of the report. Stuff that I don't want in my 7-Eleven.
Yep.
Stuff that doesn't sell. I don't want iodine. That's what
Ed,
this report is for. Just showing you the junk coins versus the big movers, but you don't change coins.
let me put a very fine point on it. Show your trader, please. ACH, Doge, GRT, and SHIB are not top movers. And
No.
over a 3-year period have made 300 and how much thousands? $376,000
Yeah.
on not even average movers, below
There's
average
two
movers.
things in play. Number one is when I first sign up, I want coins that move a lot. Okay? And the reason is you want to see it turning inventory quicker down here on the lower right. You want to see it. Yeah, somebody just got their auto trader. You just bought it for $3,500 using Crypto Casey's link. You want to see this thing turn in inventory right away. You're in a hurry. So you're kind of in a hurry to make some money there. But that's fine. But then as the market goes lower or wiggles around more, it's going to start building inventory. I've got 26 lots of that coin, 25 of that one, 37 of this one. Okay, then it becomes the most important thing, more than the big mover. It becomes more of, I've got a well-seasoned auto trader. I own that coin from top to bottom on 3% gaps apart, all the way from the top to the bottom. I got that market what I call trapped.
Yep.
They can't wiggle ever without paying me money. If they go up 30% more, everything I own below that is sold off. And then I'm still got all this stuff above it. So again, it can never go up even 5% without giving me money. And if it goes lower, I start adding more again. So I've always got the market trapped for the rest of my life.
Sweetie, it is what it is.
It's like if you had a 7-Eleven, I mean, not a 7-Eleven, the toll booth industry, again, everything I say you can find on the internet, the toll booth industry is a multi-billion-dollar a year business. They put the toll booth out there, they collect 35 cents or $1 or whatever it is these days, or 50 cents. They're not worried about where are you going and when are you going to go and all that. You got a toll booth and you're going to pay when the cars come. You got slow days, you got big fast days. It doesn't matter. But with the auto trader, if that toll booth was a GoBabyTrade toll booth, as soon as you paid that toll, and drove by, the auto trader would run and jump in front of it. The GoBabyTrade toll booth would jump in front of you again. So you'd have to keep paying. And then if you try to back up, the auto trader starts stacking toll booths in front of you again, and you try to go through them again, you got to keep paying again. We're just a money machine. We're a toll booth is what we are.
Hey, Ed,
we are 1,000 toll booths and making them just keep paying you.
Sorry, Ed, we got to move on. We still got a lot of questions, and it's gone. We're heading on 3 hours soon.
I'm sorry.
May or Mao, I'm not sure how to say it, but they have a question. Hello, guys. My automatic trader has been active since May of last year, so most of the time it's been operating on a downward market. It has made profits, but so far it has made more inventory than profits, which is good. Down is good.
That's the market doing that, pushing the coins to the bottom.
You got a well-seasoned auto trader. I wonder if now that the bottom of the bear market is close, is it a good moment to add more capital to it? That way it won't be holding inventory for too long since the market will be going upwards.
I say, well, I was never worried about when you do it. I don't know whether now was a good time or later was a good time or earlier. To me, it's always a good time. And I've been hearing it for forever.
Well said.
Once you own an auto trader, the name of the game is the more money you can get in there, the bigger this number gets, especially if you're not adding more coins and you just stick with the 5 coins, then you're investing more money per trade. You start getting more profits per trade.
Right.
And the more money you put in there, the bigger these numbers will get. So, People
Okay.
are going crazy trying to find more money to put in their traders.
Yeah. Yeah, that's well said, well answered. Okay, Mao has a follow-up question, and I could answer this one. It's pretty easy. Secondly, I wonder if in the next 3 years, GoBabyTrade would be more profitable than Bitcoin reaching its top in 2029. What does your experience say? Absolutely not a question we could answer because nobody knows
You don't
where
know where, hey,
Bitcoin.
could be the same price it is right now, 3 years
Who
from now. I
knows?
don't know.
I mean, I know what they're saying, but they've said other things before. They being the prognosticators, okay, the so-called experts. What do you say on that, Crypto Casey? Am I right or am I right that we don't know?
We don't know what the price will be.
No.
No. But if you're buying and holding Bitcoin and you're not capitalizing on the movement, then I'd say the less risky thing to do would be to make money when things are going up and down, because it will go up and down. We know that.
Yeah, right. That's
A
good.
lot of people are doing this here. I will say this, even if you're not letting it sell, I do see people with traders that look like this. These two on the bottom. XRP is very popular for accumulating, and Bitcoin too.
Mhm.
I see a lot of people with traders that look like that. They stop the selling and they just let it accumulate. Because these are two, a lot of people believe, and I own them too. I have a trader that's just dedicated to accumulate Bitcoin, and another one just dedicated to accumulate XRP. And I feel like, yeah, XRP is gonna, both of these coins are gonna go to the moon. However, I like the daily profits though. If I'm not allowing anything to sell, then I'm not getting this. And I want to turn inventory too. I want to make money. I want to, and I live off of it. I live off that 30-day profits, the money coming in. I have my Coinbase Visa card. I use it everywhere I go. So I want to turn inventory.
Ed, you want to get messy?
Profits.
Ed, you want to get Messy's question?
Yes, sorry, I was muted. Let me give you my 2 Bitcoin on that thought process, just based on fact of what I've said it before earlier, what Ed's trader has done, right? Over the last 5 years, his original trader, I'm sorry, 4 years since the release of GoBabyTrade, is that in a 90% plus down market in that period of time, a little bit over 4 years, it's 5x your money. Has Bitcoin 5x your money? Maybe if you've held it all that time, but
if you bought it at 18,000, then maybe, but or less.
Right. But for it to double now is considerably harder than what it was when it was, $16,000-$18,000. So I'm sold on the fact that as much money as I can get into the trader, that's my whole goal, because the more money, the more trades, the more profits, and I get to do anything I want to with those profits. Why do we work all day? Why do we work 40 years? To accumulate something that we hope builds into a position where the money starts making money on itself, so you can stop working and the money just shows up anyway. That's the whole goal of the platform. So there you go. That's my
What's interesting is a cheap coin can easily double in value.
Look at L3.
Whereas it's harder for a $70,000 coin to go to 100, to double.
Right.
To go to 140,000 overnight. Whereas, an L3 went up 200% in one day.
Yep.
A few weeks ago.
If your auto trader is buying highly volatile, low price coins, it doesn't take much for you to make a whole bunch of money. For when it actually went up 250% in one day and then came right back down, and it started buying it again. So,
right.
Yes.
As opposed to buy and hold.
Okay.
I mean, I hate to buy and hold. I don't want to plan on being on this planet forever, I like to turn inventory and be able to
Well, but you are accumulating. You're accumulating Bitcoin and you're accumulating XRP, but guess how you're accumulating them? With free money. So everything that you're accumulating is free. Right. So, all right,
Right.
Messy,
And then
very
I still am
excited.
turning inventory. I want to turn my inventory every day to be able to have money to spend. You know, I don't like the idea of just spending my own money. It's fun spending money that's just coming at you for nothing.
It's funny. It's fun spending money anytime, but it's better when somebody gives you the free money to spend. So, Messy, very excited for the new profit management features. Thanks, Ed. I meant Casey, LOL. When would it be made available? Right. So it's still in testing. I don't.
Oh yeah.
Messi,
Oh, so
could
you're
you
asking Casey to ask me so that you'll get a better answer.
Ed, what do you think?
Well, you know, I'm hoping to get it released like in the next week. But you saw that one error I had there where I tried to go to 0 on that and it didn't work. It caught me off guard. I'm like, oh, I thought I tested that, but apparently it didn't work. So
Yep.
I need to see this thing run and not have any errors. They're little errors though. That was a minor thing. But nevertheless, you know, I really don't want to hand it to 10,000 people and have errors. So anybody that wants it right now, I'm willing to give it to you. Shoot me an
Flip.
email and say, please turn. I can just click a button to add your email to the test list, and that'll make that feature available.
It's going to
And
drive you
you want
crazy.
it already, right? All you guys want it. I'll make it available to all 4 of you.
No, I don't want it. Listen, I want features. I want features where the wings are tightly bolted on, and I know that every time I get in the plane, it will fly. So you can keep your features until you release them.
All right. I'm going to give it to Casey, though. I know it'll work.
I'm totally fine to take
All right.
take the risk.
So guys,
Right.
we're down to 2 questions. This I think I'm pretty confident the answer is yes on this one. All orders done on the exchange are they're limit orders, correct? Ed? Through the trader?
Yes.
Technically speaking, they're all limit orders. Yeah. Okay.
But they're just not in
But they
public
don't
view.
show up on or we don't float them out there until we already know we're going to actually sell it.
Right. Right.
Nobody knows it's a limit order until the trader says sell.
Right. And then the last question from Patrick Jenkins. Hope this makes sense. On the new 1% versus 3% report, if PRCL has 763 trades for the last 9 months and then 3620 trades at 1%, does it make sense to go to 2% profit? It's a good question.
Go to my trader.
Yeah.
So you're saying
He's saying there's
the highest count
760
report.
Yeah, 763 trades at 3%, 3620 at 1%. Does it make sense to go to 2%?
Well,
That's personal.
you could. Well, I mean, there's the reports. Let me see. PRCL 3%. It did 1584, and 1%. It did 6898. I mean, I know people that do, you know, I know people that have it set to buy on 1% moves and sell on 1% moves. And I know people that do 2 and 2. You know,
if your
2%
account
buy on
balance is big enough, you can actually make some decent money. I think lower account values means lower dollars per lot.
Well, you want to also you got to be careful about, it depends on how much money you have too, because if you're trading with too small of numbers, if you're trading with a real small account, you don't want to be giving away half your profits to the broker for fees.
Right.
You make $1, they make $1. It's like, that's not fair. You know, so, and especially these coins are sitting at the bottom. I mean, your question there is, you definitely have to try it and see what you like. Try it for a little while, see what you think. Watch it for a week. You can always change the numbers. I mean, I changed I play a lot, you know, just because I have to test stuff, but you know, I do it all in my live accounts.
Well, I will say, folks, we're right at 3 hours, and as you know, if you're not if you're new to us today, you may not know, we're here every Wednesday on behalf of Crypto Casey's audience at 2 p.m. Eastern. So you're welcome to join us again. But we're pretty much, we've covered all the questions. We've covered a lot of info. And everybody's got the link in for the $1,000 discount now in the chat. It was thrown in there at least 2-3 times in the last 3 hours.
Yep, I just put it up again.
You also have all of the information as far as the the emails in case you need help with anything. You buy the trader, you can't figure out how to connect it, boom, just send us an email. We'll do a quick Zoom. I've done it before. I'm doing 2 Zooms tonight with people that need a little review. So it's not uncommon for us to hop on a Zoom to do that kind of thing for you. We're more than happy to do that. So I always sign off the same way. I say, look, when you earn money for a living, whether it's your own business or you have a job, that money ends up being pretty much unemployed. So it's our responsibility as individuals to give our money a job. What is the job of that money? To multiply itself. Because Warren Buffett said it best, if you're not making money while you sleep, you're going to work till you die. I do believe that's true. All of us believe that's true. So I don't believe there's a better way to multiply your monies and your crypto. There's no better way to do it than the robotic trader, in my opinion, based on knowing Ed Barsano all these years, 14 years now, and knowing what he built with the stock trader and now with the crypto trader. This is second to none. So with that, go forth and multiply your money with GoBabyTrade. Ed?
Ed or Edward?
Ed.
Me?
Yes, sir.
Go Navy.
All right.
Every day that you don't own an auto trader, number one, you're not building inventory. Number two, you're not taking free money that they're literally throwing at you every day or every other day. Every up day is just free money. That's how I look at it. It's just giving me free money. And you just keep, if you don't have an auto trader, you're just throwing away free money. It's your money's parked somewhere. Why not just take the free money that they want to just throw at you?
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to sign up already. I can tell you this, because I talk to so many people, and I always hear people say, they sign up, and then I hear the same thing. Man, they say I should have signed up 6 months ago. I'm like, you're right, because you're going to sign up, whether you sign up now or you sign up a year from now. When you do sign up a year from now, you're gonna say, oh my God, all the money I just threw away over the last year that I could have made. So then you're going to sign up because this is in your head already. Because anywhere you go, you're not going to find free money again like this. So you can jump around and try all kinds of other things, but be careful. There's a lot of risk out there, a lot of gambling, a lot of scams. And, somebody said, like they get an email or a text message that said, somebody's trying to access your account from Pakistan. If it's not you, call this number. How many of you would know to not call that number? You'd be surprised how many people would call that number.
Yep.
And that is a scam. So you're going to be talking to a hacker. Because if I get that message that says someone's trying to access my account from Pakistan, if it's not me, call that number. Why? Anybody can try to access my account. Go ahead. I don't care. You don't have my password. You can't get in. So but you'd be surprised there are a certain faction of people, a certain number of people that would actually call that number. And they would say, yeah, somebody's trying to steal all your coins. We need to move your coins to a safe place. And then they'll help you move all your coins out of Coinbase and into their account and steal all your coins. And it happens to people, and it hurts me deeply that would happen to somebody. It's like, wow, but you actually you actually did that? You let somebody into your account and let them rob you? And that's what, the crypto market is too complex. I'm going to tell you this. It's even too complex for me. When my first shares I bought were Shiba Inu before I automated the market. I had to open up a Binance account, a trade wallet or whatever they call that account, like MetaMask. Then I had to go to Pancake Swap and I had to connect it to the MetaMask. and then and do the purchase. I still am sitting on $600 billion worth of this other coin that I bought from MetaMask, well, from PancakeSwap. It's called let me think of what that's called real fast.
Probably
Oh,
not
Baby
$600
Doge.
billion, probably 600 billion like tokens.
Coins. No, it's
Yeah.
not dollars. It's
Yeah.
635 billion coins of Baby Doge. And I'm still sitting on it. You know why I'm still sitting on it? Because I don't know how to get rid of it. I don't want to go through that process again. What? Oh man. And then the Bitcoin, I'm Binance, I had to buy the BNB coin, but I accidentally bought the Ethereum version and I had to buy the BNB version of the BNB coin. I'm like, oh my God, all these different networks and everything. So I look at GoBabyTrade and I'm like, how simple is this? You open up a Coinbase account, you create an API connected to your auto trader, you put in your coins, and you're done. And you just bought yourself a 7-Eleven that's going to crank out money as fast as that market wants to give it to you.
Yep. Good point.
And you're done. Game over.
Good point.
I took all the sport out of it. I think the whole crypto market is too complex. Casey, I love you that you know so much about the crypto market, but I watch your videos and I'm like, dear God, is she over my head? I don't know any of this stuff. I don't even want to know it.
Yeah, most of it you don't really need to know. It's just for the morbidly curious people out there.
Yep. All right,
All
Casey, what say you?
Well, we'll be here the next few Wednesdays, and then
All right.
also Saturday, April 18th and the 25th. So come hang out those days. In the meantime, I mean, the news is entertainment enough in and of itself. We don't have to make things up. It's just, I can't believe half this stuff. So be safe out there. We'll see you soon.
How do you do that? I'm still trying to figure that out.
I just put one finger here and one finger back here.
Oh, like a bow and arrow.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
There you go.
Exactly.
There you go. Thank you for I almost forgot. Thank you for bringing that up, Casey. I put a bunch of stuff in the chat, but I just posted the registration link for we're doing the Saturday sessions, as I mentioned very early. It's a different registration link than what you joined or you registered
What time did
for this. 11 o'clock.
Were you guys hearing me? My
Yeah,
mic
we
was
hear you.
off. That's
Yes.
weird.
Yeah,
Huh.
no, we heard you. We heard you.
Okay.
So
good,
you
'cause
can
my mic
register
was,
for the
like,
special.
off. I don't know. It's weird.
Well, we miss your cats, by the way. We miss your cat.
I know. I actually traded. I have one cat that lives at my neighbor's house because she doesn't get along with the other one. So I have the one cat with me, and my other 3 cats are not here. And that one is not as playful as the other ones.
So the
Kittens
link
that
I just
don't get along. You can actually get rid of one or 2 of them.
We just trade them because one of them just doesn't like other cats. She likes to be the only cat.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So if you look at the chat, the last one I posted was for the Saturday sessions. Both you can register both of them at the same time for the 18th and the 25th. It'll be at 11 o'clock in the morning. Then just prior to that, I posted our YouTube channel, which is where we put the replays for this. Then just before that, I posted the FI4U, Financial Intelligence for You private community, so you can join that. We've got a couple hundred folks in there that trade great ideas, that spend some time helping one another. So that's awesome. And then again, I am going to post Crypto Casey's. I posted it a couple of times, but Crypto Casey's discount link.
Yeah, it's in there several times.
Yep. But it's sometimes it's hard for people to scroll back. So yeah, with that, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us. We always end up with great questions, great sessions. It is always much more dynamic. I mean, the three amigos are fine, but when you add Crypto Casey to the mix, it makes it that much better. So
Yeah, it is.
We always love having you on, and we'll see everybody soon.
Okay.
Yep.
All
All right, guys.
See you next
Be
week.
safe out there. See ya.
Go
Take care.
Navy.
Thanks, Ed.
Let's go.
Stacey.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.